Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Really happy to have you here. This is actually a special day, although, of course, I need to give weather updates. It's dark and gloomy again. This has been a wet year, but I do have a full cup of hot coffee sitting with a bunch of friends, about to deal with a legend. Chuck Dixon tribute, baby. This guy, he's kind of not, he's not as prolific or varied as, say, Art Bear, but damn if he isn't close. He's worked for everybody, as you can see from this beautiful thumbnail that Eric has put together for us. He's done Marvel stuff. He's done RIPA, DC Comics, IDW, Dark Horse, Arctic Press, Zenoscope. Matter of fact, I'd say Art probably was focused more on the big two than this guy's been all over, doing all kind of things. He's also done some books, which I don't see much reference here, but he's done a lot. And we'll get into talking about some of the things Chuck has done. But he's a really good guy. Of course, when we started out here, back with Comicsgate stuff, and of course, Chuck was one of the early, kind of legends that joined us. And he had basically been canceled by the comic book, the big two. I think he was working at DC at the time, because he's a Christian. How dare he even, you know? So yeah, but he came over and he's found some success. He's done a bunch of books with a bunch of people, and of course now he's working on the Ripperverse stuff, which is good because Eric July has an audience. He just needs actually good stories, which he doesn't have, and Chuck can give them to him. And you'll see here in a minute, he's working on a bunch of that stuff, and that's a great combination. I'm happy for both of them because Chuck's not that old. Eric, he's about I
I
don't
would say
know.
70.
Yeah, he's about 15 years older than we are. I
Yeah,
say
yeah.
about
His,
15
April
years.
April 14th, 1954.
There you go. There you go. And you and I were born in 70.
I was born in 71.
Of course you were, you baby. You probably totally missed the lawn dot era.
Nope, nope. I was hitting the head at least once.
That's fine. That's perfect. As it should be. Toys should be deadly. We got to weed out the weak, man. That's the way it is.
Well, I think that's part of the problem nowadays. We
Yeah.
just
No.
let them all survive.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
put pads on them, buckle them in.
Yep.
Back in our days, if it was the survival of the fittest.
It was. It definitely was, and we should go back to that. But nevertheless, we are doing Chuck Dixon today. So before we get started, let me go over and just kind of look at a more. Although Eric did a great job, actually, let me take a look at a more expansive list here. We do have a nice Wikipedia page. It's pretty. It's pretty encompassing of his life and stuff. It's quite nice. But let's take a look at the bibliography here. We have a bunch of G.I. Joe stuff he did, as you guys see as we go down. Of course, and I do believe this one right here was a little more recent. We have stuff, of course, across the pond studios, which I think is the other way across. It might be Britain. Of course, Antarctic Press, who we won't get into them. Have some of his early stuff. Of course, he was working with Eclipse Comics. He did a bunch of stuff, including the Airboy, which was quite popular. And some other IP stuff like Aliens and other things like that, Valkyrie, etc. He did a whole bunch of Simpson comics there with
Mhm.
Bongo. Cross Gen, of course, is the thing I remember out of that would probably just be Sigil. I think was the one that caught my attention. I don't know all this other stuff. Of course, with Fanatic Comics as well. First Comics with Evangeline 1 through 12. Of course, Dark Horse, one of my favorite ones when I was a kid. Anybody else like Dark Horse when you were young?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like Dark Horse.
Yeah. Was big on the Predator stuff for Dark Horse. It was good.
Yeah, yeah.
Their Star Wars was top notch too when
It
they
is.
had that
It's
license.
true. And he
Mhm.
did
Yeah,
Star
yeah.
Wars stuff, General Grievous miniseries, actually. But yeah,
Looks
no, I
like
remember.
he did an
What was that?
it looks like he did an adaptation of The Hobbit in a comic
Yes.
form.
He did a graphic novel of The Hobbit. He did. That's true.
Oh, that's interesting.
Unfortunately, the internet kind of puts it up in a weird way that says the writer of The Hobbit.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, it's a bit
No,
little strenuous there. But yeah, no, I was in Dark Horse when they very first got. JD, you are roboting like crazy, dude. I don't know why he's having so much hard time today. Everybody else is good. But anyway, yeah, I was in Dark Horse from the very beginning, I think, because I remember being quite young and having Dark Horse comics. Anyway, a bunch more G.I. Joe, like I said. He did a lot of G.I. Joe. And I kind of thinking that's had a big influence on him, actually, in some of the more modern stuff he's doing. Of course, DC Comics, I mean, goodness, look at the list. It's just ridiculous, right? Of course, he's very famous for Bane. Punisher is his big Marvel run, I'd say. But he did some Conan stuff that I liked, right? He did some Moon Knight stuff because I'm a big fan of Moon Knight. And I actually was young when I read his Mark Spector run. But of course, a lot of Batman stuff with, of course, Bane. But Punisher was really, really big, like I said. Got a bunch of alien stuff he did over there. He even did Man Bat. I actually own his Man Bat stuff, just so you know. More Air Boy and stuff like that in the 21st century, of course. Then, of course, he's doing, what is this, 6 of the new Rippaverse stuff. Cool. He did some crossover stuff with DC Comics and Dark Horse, which is always fun. And of course, he's got they list his him doing the Wheel of Time stuff. And he did more than what's here. Actually, this is not a complete bibliography. What are you doing, Wikipedia? Goodness gracious. Anyway, that's a lot.
Yeah.
It's kind of my point. Chuck's pretty awesome, and it's been cool that he's been over here in our community, and he's been on everybody's show doing all kind of stuff. He's a real nice guy. As far as our interaction with it was great, right? I mean, he's no ego, fun-loving, creative guy, and you love to see it. You love to see it, because
Yeah.
we've done interviews here, particularly with my Akihabara morning Akihabara. What did I do? What was the name of that show, Eric?
I never could pronounce it. I just called it your comic show.
Yeah, that one. But I was doing that, and we had a bunch of big names come on that show. It was an interview show. That was really cool. And yeah, but we've had some great interviews, which I enjoyed, but they weren't necessarily our kind of people, which is okay.
Yeah,
But
well,
you know, Chuck's a dude, so
well, yeah.
yeah, that's a good thing. But nevertheless, that's what we're doing. We're tripping and giving a tribute to Chuck Dixon. Matter of fact, we done a tribute to R.T. Bear.
No.
No, we probably should. I mean, Art's a member of our community, been on the show many times. I've been on his show, interviewed him, and consider him a friend, which is really cool. Because I mean, give me a break. He's done every single character there is in the top two. We should definitely do R.T. Bear. But we might even throw a crumb or two at old Mike Miller. Why not?
Ah.
Yeah, I know. You have issues with that one. But nevertheless, we're going to get ourselves going here in a minute, but I want to go around and say hello to everybody. So, Eric, hi.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good, dude. Do you have a Chuck Dixon favorite?
As stuff he wrote, I would say, it's got to be Punisher, Moon Knight, and G.I. Joe. But I wasn't a big fan of IDW G.I. Joe stuff. No disrespect to Chuck, but pretty much anyone outside Larry writing G.I. Joe just doesn't work.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
As far as characters he created, I gotta say Bane's pretty much the one I know.
Sure.
I really don't know a lot of these other ones. I mean, they're like one-off characters, some of them. So
Well, he's kind of like
very odd ones, but they're cool. But
yeah. Well, he's a bit like Ethan Van Sciver. I mean, there's a couple of big ones we all know, and then there's tons of little background characters. It's kind of the same thing Ethan did. The difference being one an artist and the other a writer. But My favorite Chuck Dixon is absolutely Moon Knight. I loved his Mark Spector run. It was really good.
Yeah.
What do you think, Alan? How you doing, dude? You're muted, by the way.
Yeah.
Like yo,
Like, yo, were you eating a chimichanga?
pretty close. My my family decided to cook corned beef, but they have no idea what it is, so
Oh,
they cooked it
fair.
all weird.
That's
So
Nice.
now
fair.
it, it just tastes like horse meat now. If you ever tasted that,
Yeah, well,
Oh.
sadly, I have.
But
Yeah,
if you smoke it, it will taste like pastrami.
it will. Yeah,
Yeah.
It becomes a pastrami, actually.
it becomes a
If you
pastrami.
smoke
no,
corned beef?
they
You
like
can. It's called a
sauteed it or
brisket.
something.
Sauteed it.
Oh wow,
Yeah, I don't know what they
that's
did.
not correct.
It was
Yeah.
it wasn't bad. It wasn't
No, it
bad, but
was
it does
horrible.
remind
It
me a
was
lot of
horrible.
horse.
Yeah. No,
Here's what
the
you do next time. Just get up early in the morning, toss in the crock pot for about 10 hours with some cabbage, and walk away.
that'll help.
And pour some beer in there. Pour some
Yeah,
beer.
put some like mustard seeds in there, little
Yeah.
caraway.
My house
You're
already
good.
smells like farts.
Yeah, well, you of course that's true. But yeah, that's an easy way to cook it. But a brisket is a very tough piece of meat that's usually put into like dog food and things like that. But if you handle it properly, it is literally the best meat. Yeah, the best way to do it is to barbecue it slow, low, with and I mean actual barbecue, not that grilling shit that
Right.
everyone thinks is barbecue. With smoke. Yeah, that's about a 16-hour endeavor, though.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then of
Are you
course you
That
gotta let
talking
it
sounds
corned beef?
sit, and you pretty much eating the
Mm.
next day. What was that, Eric?
No, Chester. Sorry, it's two banana. Are you saying barbecuing corned beef?
No,
Did I
barbecuing
hear you?
brisket. It's the
Sorry.
same
I heard
thing, right?
corned beef.
It's
Right. I heard corned beef earlier, and I'm like, that's new to me, but okay.
yeah,
So
it's
But
never
you
mind.
can smoke a corned beef, and it turns into pastrami. It is delicious.
it
I'll
probably
bet.
does work. You're right. And making corned beef is really easy. It's basically you're just brine a brisket, and then just boil that shit for like
Yeah.
ever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But really, I mean, honestly, the way to go is to wood smoke it, to smoke it, in an actual barbecue fashion. It is, well, it's the best bite of meat you'll ever have in your life. And don't you say a damn
Mm.
word, Eric. Okay, good.
It
Um,
does sound like it would be very
honestly, I
nice.
like ribeye. So
Well, I
Yeah.
mean,
So
it's
I'm eating like a
good,
Ninja Turtle.
ribs and all that, but I'm telling you, a really good brisket. And the thing is, most humans haven't even tasted the unique flavor that it is. Anyway, we're a little we're homaging Chuck today with the brisket, and I know he must love it, being a
We
fun-loving
love brisket.
American as he is. But do you have a favorite Chuck Dixon there, Alan?
Oh, it's hands down Bane. That whole Bane thing. Bane's one of my favorite characters. I didn't get to draw
Yeah,
him last night because I had to work, so I'm gonna be
yeah.
drawing him today.
The sad
But yeah,
thing
Oh.
in the
Bane's
cinema with Bane is they never gave us Bane because he's a very sophisticated mob boss. Actually,
Yes.
yeah.
is what he is. But we always get this
I
like
thought he talks like this.
yeah, well, that once again, they keep giving. Tom Hardy is a good actor. He is, but they keep giving him material he doesn't know anything about, and for some reason, he doesn't feel obligated to learn the character, which which puts me off a lot, right? Because that's not Bane, but that's the closest we ever got to it, though, right? Because usually we get
No
this
one cared who
goofy
I was.
mindless psychotic, right? That's a puppet of somebody else. That's not Bane. Bane is the puppeteer, dude. And it's
Yeah.
I'll
sad
eat
that,
some horse meat.
well, maybe, but the thing is, most of the world knows who Bane is because of all the movies, but they have no clue who Bane is. He's such a
Yep.
Yeah.
good character, man. It's really a shame.
Yeah, in the books, I even liked them the way they portrayed him on the animated series. They did a good job there too.
Hmm.
Yeah, they did a good job there.
That
Yeah.
is better. That is true. But yeah, it is great character. Great character. Honey, hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Doing well. Let's see. I was just checking out some of his history, and I came across this one series he did called Evangeline.
Yeah, Evangeline. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I found this one really cool cover of her sort of with this guy fighting a bunch of it looks like velociraptors,
Hmm.
and I think it just looks fine. It kind of looks like a sort of an '80s like Laura Croft kind of thing, and it seems like an exciting story. So I thought I would use that. I would try to animate her today.
Oh,
Let's
there
see
you
if I
go.
can't put a reference.
Yeah, no, it's a cool kind of it's like a pulpy noir type of story, right? But yeah, it's pretty neat. I've definitely I don't know if I read the whole series, but I know this character, so I must have read some of it. But yeah, no, that's cool. Good choice. I think that's a real good choice. All righty. How about you, Amy? Do you have how are you today? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm just going over Mr. Dixon's like work here and trying to figure out like if there's a specific character that he made that I might know of or a specific series, but that oh, I'm afraid I don't know as many as I would like to say I do. It says he drew I'm sorry, he wrote for Catwoman and Green Arrow. It sounds like he's done so much of everything. It's
He
kind of
has.
hard to narrow it
He
down.
has.
It's
Uh,
really impressive.
you know, there's a character in GI Joe called Jane. I think her name's Jane, right?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, do you think
What's
she'd be a good
what's that boss lady in GI Joe? What's her name?
one?
It's Jane, right?
Lady J.
Lady Jane.
Lady Jane, yeah.
Yeah,
And there's
Lady
Oh,
Scarlet
Lady
too.
J. Yeah.
Lady
Is
Jane
Lady
or
Lady
J?
Lady J? Which?
J
J.
J-A-Y.
J Y
J. Yeah,
E.
I remember that character. That was a pretty cool character. You should check her out. She's cool. I remember
Oh, okay.
watching the because I haven't read a lot of GI Joe comics, but I watched the show as a kid, of course. I mean, it was every kid in
Oh.
America watched that show. But
Oh,
yeah,
neat.
she was cool. She was cool. That's how you do a female
And
character, by the way, if anyone's listening.
was she in
Her
one of
little
the
pixie
books
cut.
that he wrote, or did he
I'm
write for the
I'm I
cartoon?
guarantee it. He did a lot of GI Joe, and
Oh,
she's a
okay.
Yeah,
main.
he
She's
had
the
to.
main character.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't know about Maine. She's like second
Thank
Maine.
you.
Nah, dude, she's always there in the background. She's kind of a
Oh, in the
co-star.
cartoon, sure.
In the comic, no.
Oh, she
No,
looks cute though.
she,
She's got kind of
she
a
was around in the
scruffy
comic,
red
but
hair.
not as much as Scarlet.
I see. So Scarlet is more. Okay,
Yeah,
there you
yeah,
go. Scarlet is another one. I just remembered that I just thought Lady J would be better for Amy than Scarlet. But
yeah, I think Lady J probably has a style that would fit
yeah,
Amy's
yeah,
stuff.
and she's more of a tomboy, and she's more of a kind of the girl next door, down to earth. Scarlet is not that.
Oh, it is not bad.
No. But anyway,
Scarlet's a badass redhead.
she is a badass redhead. That is true, but she's also like a noble. Anyway, moving along. Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Chester.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Are you feeling better?
Yeah.
I mean, you were having some pain and stuff. Is that all good now?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah.
Did I
So
specify what type of pain, or were you listening to my my update on my channel?
Oh,
sure.
And Chester
So-
goes, he has a channel?
Shh, don't say it out loud. I was
Videos?
thinking that. I didn't say that out loud. But no, I know you were talking about it here, man. You went in for some surgery stuff. Just
going
just checking
therapy
on
and
you.
stuff like that.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm
Just
actually.
I
Well,
I
if
can
you
I can be
watch,
kindish.
if you watch the video on my channel, Herman P. Hunter's The Lore Forge,
Yeah.
at sign Herman P. Hunter's The Lore Forge on YouTube,
Yeah.
I go over this in my latest video.
I see. I'll never do that.
I figured that.
I'm your friend.
Anyway, the question on the table, Jeff, is what is your favorite Chuck Dixon character? It can be from the books too. There are a couple of interesting books he wrote.
Name them.
Name them. You got the one there with that guy, and then there was another guy, and then
that
there
one.
was the spy guy,
No, the other one.
and the
The
other
one
one.
before
Then
the
there
spy
was
guy.
the Hobbit guy. Yeah.
No, I'll stick with the other guy before the spy guy.
That's good. That was a good one too. Yeah.
That
Is
was a
that the one they're
classic.
doing the movie of right now? That one?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Levon.
Levon. Yeah. But yeah. Do you have a favorite?
Who, me? I already said the guy. No, I really don't know.
Oh, that's
I
fair
don't
enough.
follow
We'll
comic
just go with
artists,
the
so.
guy then. That's fine.
Hi.
Hi, Rosa.
Hi, how are you?
I am doing well. Do I need to ask about your imminent health, or can I just move along?
What is the imminent help? My imminent death. No. No, I'm fine. I won't be
Okay.
drawing tonight because I'm waiting for my eye surgery so we can see if we can get this fixed. And so I would probably just be like garbage. So I'm not going to draw tonight. But I did want to say that my favorite Chuck Dixon character is Wildcat, who is a boxer. And I love the character
Oh,
old and kind of grumpy.
Yeah,
And
he
if I
was.
were
Yeah,
he's fantastic. He's basically the fighter. He's truly a boxer who boxes from the love of it, the training and everything else.
right.
And I know he's got special skills, but I just like the fact that his character is there's a purity about it. It
Yeah,
goes
they.
back to the
Yeah,
and I love the boxing ring. I grew up with my father watching boxing. He was a boxer, actually a flyweight boxer in the Navy, and so he taught me boxing, which of course went horribly, horribly wrong because I freeze and immediately fall to my knees if anybody threatens me at any time or
that's
just stare at them.
not
I'm not any good.
useful. Yeah,
It is not. It's
yeah.
not. What sort of evolutionary advantage is that? That you just
Um,
stand there and go,
freeze
nuts.
is one of those
it's the
fight
I'm
reflexes.
dead already move.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's part of it.
Yeah. No, I did a lot of boxing as a kid too. Boxing is good. Yeah. No, of course, the character she's talking about is actually quite focused upon in the Blue and Gray series. Batman,
Yeah,
the Blue and Gray. He is a
Hmm.
cool character, by the way. He is cool.
he
Yeah.
is. I love it.
Yeah. Two banana, not three, not four, but
Two
two banana
banana.
Mike.
What's up?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you, man?
I'm doing good. Looking forward to the movie. You know,
Yeah, I am
I
too.
I have been a big fan of Chuck's for a long, long time. Um, honestly, I have to say, probably my favorite series of his that I read that because it was so untapped and he kind of set the pace was when they launched the Robin series out of Nightfall. Uh,
Mm.
that was a lot of fun. I think I read, I want to say at least around the first 50 issues, and then at that time it got bogged down with having to be part of every crossover that DC was doing. But up until that time, Chuck was left uninterrupted to do what he wanted to do, and man, it was a lot of fun to read that book with Tim Drake.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah, no, of course, I'm showing the information here on Working Man. Oh, I've been hyping it up on my main channel, of course, this is something that is being produced by it's being produced by Sylvester Stallone. The
Yep,
director is like David Ayers.
yep,
Of course, Jason Statham is playing the titular character of this Chuck Dixon story. That's cool all
yep.
around, dude. That's all coolness, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I don't know if you know this. I was listening to some of Chuck's because you can listen to his YouTube channel. I forget the name of it, but he does I think one a week of Ask Chuck Dixon,
sure.
and uh,
Mixing
Stallone
with
had
Dixon.
Stallone had asked him a few times to act as an editor and consult for the Expendable films. So that means that Stallone has been a Chuck fan for a long time.
Yeah,
So Stallone might be a comic guy like the rest of us. But I just thought it was really cool that not to delve too far into politics, but after all that cancel culture mess of if you're not conservative, you're out,
right.
and all
Which
the
he got
things
caught
he's
up in.
gone through.
Yeah.
Right, he got cut off just because of his voting, which
Well, his
is ludicrous.
religion, really.
It is for the left. It is, yes. And for Chuck to be able to now have one of his own created properties as a major motion film. To me, that's justice. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a fan, I'm very happy for him. That's all I can say.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is
Absolutely.
super
He
cool.
deserves
Yeah. And do keep in mind, I do believe, and I'm sure someone will correct me, but I do believe in Rocky, there is a scene where he's reading a comic book.
In the first Rocky.
Yeah.
First one, yeah, the first one, I think
Yeah.
Oh,
so.
it's been a long time. I'd have to
Mhm.
look.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do
Okay.
recall him
Cool.
sitting there with a lollipop in his mouth, sucking on it, reading a comic book, waiting for Adrian.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, it's been a long time. I got to look back at that.
Well, I
Okay.
got
Cool.
one of those annoying memories.
So do I, but I might have missed that, man. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so and it wouldn't be surprising that Sylvester liked comic books. We all read them.
Right, and he's a storyteller. What is the most purest cinematic form of storytelling? Comic books before you
Those
get to
comic books.
film.
Well, I actually we're going to have Jeff get us started here, but I actually there was that anthology everyone was putting together, and I wrote one comic book, and then everyone asked me to write all their other ones. Unfortunately, it didn't get off the ground, but therefore it gave me an experience of writing comic books, which I had never done before, and I actually it was a really fun and interesting process because um, a comic book actually requires you not only to have your your sequentials in order. Your writing of course is forcing the sequentials, right? But what it really did was force you to say a lot with a little,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a really
Mm.
cool. I enjoyed that experience quite a bit.
Oh,
I
Chester.
don't have
Okay.
time to do it, but if I did, I'd try to be a writer for comics.
Oh,
Okay.
I had no idea that you did that.
Yeah.
How long ago has that been?
Oh, it's years back, but
Oh,
everyone. I mean, unfortunately, it didn't get off off the floor, but because
right.
I didn't have the time to put in the promotion, and no one else really was willing to. But
Sure.
it is what it is. But it was. I'm not saying anything here or there. I'm just saying I enjoy the process, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Well, let me ask this because I was talking about this with another creator, and to me, when you're writing a comic scene, because you're dealing with panels, which
Right.
is different than illustrations where you're just illustrating a scene from a book, like I do. You're actually having to look at it from a cinematic viewpoint. You're doing a frame,
Yeah.
but it has to capture the element with of that period of time within the frame. It's like
Sure.
almost like almost like a slow motion still from a movie.
Yeah.
And so whenever I look at the best of comic writing, because the artist has to capture the frame, right? He has to capture what's going on, or she has to capture most times guy, and he has to capture what's going on in that frame. Well, as a writer, I'm writing a novel and I go on and on, with prose or whatever, with internal dialogue, things like that. You can't really capture that in a cinematic frame, so you have to explain it through the flow of the panels. And so as a writer, I think that would be incredibly hard for me because I
Mm.
I, I rely so heavily on dialogue, and wall of text is the murderer of comic books,
Right.
and it's
Yeah.
Well,
something
Mm.
that's
um,
occurring
well,
over lately.
obviously there are two people here that would be better to speak to about this than me.
Yeah,
One thing I noticed that was helpful because you're writing two things. You're writing what the scene is, what's happening in the scene, and then you're also writing dialogue. Right? There's two things you're doing. Right?
yeah,
Like I said, these guys here would be a better person to talk to about it. But I did find that because I've used to work for the RPGA years ago. And I wrote
yeah,
a lot of modules for Dungeons and Dragons, a lot. And in there, what you're doing is you're creating all the module stuff, but you're also creating blue text. The blue text is what the DM reads out. And keep in mind, the RPGA is something where
yeah,
you go on Saturday and you got like 10 tables and 10 DMs running everybody or something like that. So you need blue text is really important in that situation, whereas at your own table, maybe not as much. But I found that to be very helpful for me. But Eric and Alan would be better to talk to really because these guys actually do it. Where
yeah.
I just dabbled at it, but it was a fun thing to do. Thank you, Jeff. Keep in mind,
Of
of
course.
course, we got 2 hours to go on this as usual, guys. And they have no limits whatsoever. This is a PG-13 show. It's not for children. Okay.
Yeah,
But
maybe.
with that, now Alan, you're a really good artist, and I know you do your own comics, so I'm assuming you also do your own dialogue.
Yeah, I mean, um, I do like the comic with the pigs. I have a writing that one. So I'm not gonna take the 100% credit for that one. But yeah, I usually do my own dialogue for sure.
Okay. And Eric,
That's
Eric,
I mean,
yeah. And
I'm just saying it's just let me get myself together. You have to become like an actor.
mm,
I don't know if that makes a lot of sense. If you ever see me alone in my room, I look like a psychopath just trying to come up with dialogue,
Dude,
and
no,
I'm
everybody
talking
does
in
that.
different voices and have different facial expressions. But yeah, you have to become kind of an actor because it's easy to write, but it's hard to not have everyone have the same voice.
oh, I see what you're saying. I didn't even think that way.
You know.
I was just quiet and just creating different characters. But that's interesting. How about you, Eric? Now, Eric has written many, many comic books, as well as illustrating them. You have anything to add to that, Eric?
Gary.
No, I definitely agree with Alan there. I mean, you have to get in the mindset of each character you're writing and let their
Yeah.
voice be heard through the dialogue and and their gestures and stuff while you're drawing them as well. Um, yeah, the way I break down comic books, all the ones I do, I break them down into scenes. I start from scenes, then I typically I want to have about 10 scenes per 40-page book that I do. Then I break it down to how many pages I want each scene to do, and then I do it by panel, and that's when I start describing the panels, the dialogue. The dialogue's starting to come along at that point because I start getting while the scenes are coming to me, certain dialogue is coming to me as well, and then other things. And I break it down that way, and I usually have about I don't know, it ends up being at least 50 pages for me to do a 40-page book.
Interesting. You know, one of the things I absolutely loved when I was there, I did like what, seven of them, I think. I wrote like seven comics. The thing I loved about it, and I obsessed over like crazy, was the page turn.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
love that, dude. That is so cool. You don't think about it as a reader, but
No, you don't. But as a
yeah,
writer, you do,
you
and as an
do.
artist, you do.
Yeah.
But and there'll be times, and I know, one two the even page is always on the turn. But I'll be sitting there when I'm writing and drawing. I'm like, wait a minute. I'll be turning my hand. I go one, two, okay, one, two.
Really?
Right, right.
Yeah,
No, yeah, no,
just to
absolutely.
make sure I have the right. Yeah,
Right, the
even though
right
I know in my
sequence.
head, I just have to do it physically with my hand to make sure I'm right.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's really cool. Because you can do a lot of good storytelling just with the page turn. It's
Oh
neat.
yeah, yeah.
It's
That's
super
why
neat. Yeah.
my first scene is always a odd number of pages, so the rest of them can be even number of pages.
Mhm.
So how do you know when you're writing too much? Because how I know when I'm writing too much is I would go back and read it again. And I know Herman probably maybe he doesn't. He's perfect all the time, but I go
Mhm.
through and I'm like just writing like gangbusters, and I realize I've got 5,000 words on like a what should be a 3 minute conversation, and I have to go back and pare down, pare down, pare down. How do you? I mean, do you go through the writing process first when
That's
you're?
Well,
interesting.
on a comic page, as far as dialogue, uh, you just can't have too much dialogue, or you won't have any room for the art.
Yeah, I can only
Yeah.
fit so much in a word bubble.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I
true.
have done
Yeah.
done art for other writers, and sometimes there's no room for my art, and he's like, well, could you put more in here? It's like, no, you have too many words. Where am I going to put that? Where am I going to put that? There's no room.
Mr. Michael Bendis.
Yeah,
Right,
Oh,
right. That's true.
oh,
That is true. That is
yeah.
true. It's
Wound it
funny you
all
say
over the
that,
page.
Rosa, because the comic books. I just, like I said, I was just dabbling at that, but I write academic stuff all the time. And I find myself to be the opposite. After I'm done writing it, I go back and, of course, proofread, and then I find that, well, I need to add. I'm the opposite. I don't overwrite. I underwrite.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You
Now
feel you need to
maybe
go
it's the
back and
difference
play
between
I like to
it?
write
fantasy
things like
and academic. I don't know.
It's because you're either, yeah, I think the academic, there's the internal voice is research and sourcing and everything else.
Hmm.
There's a whole world that goes below the fold on your notes. So that's kind of the internal voice on that on academic writing or technical writing. And probably Herman would agree with that. That's the internal voice. The other book that's being written is the one that's down below the margin. But when we fantasy, it's like you're exploring every nuance, and then I go back and there's scenes that I've literally cut out almost entire scenes because as I go back, while it's great and it gives me backstory, I do that on purpose anyway because I want the backstory. So I go ahead and write it all out, and I write all the little back and forth and small talk and everything else, and I can write like 5,000 words a day just doing just dialogue. But then I pull it back out because I know it doesn't advance the story, or it bogs down the scene, and so I have to take it out and just put it aside, and it becomes a reference later for me when I'm looking at their backstories or trying to keep continuity. But it's so much harder for me to not write than it is for me to write. And so I have to always make sure I go back through and pare it all
Yeah.
down. And I think
Yeah.
it's super tough to do it, especially if we're talking about games, because I know with Amy and Melissa, like y'all are having to keep it to the action on the screen, what you're working through right then, and too much dialogue
Right.
murder a game.
Yeah, but the
That's
visual
true.
cuts out a lot what you have to write. Go ahead, Amy.
Oh, I was just going to say when you're working on a game, it is true you want to make sure you keep the player engaged. So I would always have a pretty steady rule that you could do about 2 pages of dialogue of just like click next. And then at some point you have to get the player re-engaged, making some kind of a choice about something because they're going to get pretty tired of just going next, next, next. Like, okay, when do they get to choose to do something different or travel somewhere else? So I
Mm.
found, of course, our pages held a pretty good amount of text, so it kept your writing style pretty concise with that. You just knew I have at most 4 paragraphs, so the first one has to be where the characters left, how they feel about their journey there. Has something changed? How does that affect them? And now here's half a page for quiet resolve and new characters introduction. So you just kind of have those rules broken down. I also found that if I wanted to, sometimes when I'm writing stuff, I want to make sure, let's say, how long it takes to read something. Like, okay, I want this, if it's read out loud, the script to take about 15 to 30 minutes to complete. So then I did some research on how long it takes to read like 15 minutes of text or for that kind of things. And I would just take how many words that is, divide up the word count, figure out, okay, this, and this needs to happen. I should leave this much here, this much there, roughly, and go, okay, I've got about 5 pages for each major movement. I'm going to want a little more time here and just kind of move it around a little bit. But there are different ways you can use, depending on what your priorities and what the need of what you're writing is, to gauge how long something will take. But yeah, for that's different for comics, and of course novels are all reading, so that's a different kind of experience altogether.
Yeah.
But for comics, yeah, it's trying to make sure so much of the dialogue when you're writing a comic, when I've done it, it's like, okay, everything that's being said has to establish how the character's feeling, what they're thinking about what's going on, and all the things that aren't being said also need to communicate something about what has happened or what might happen. So just trying to keep that as short as possible and go, okay, and then just let the pauses read some stuff in there too. So it's pretty crazy, but it's cool.
Yeah. And it's
To
interesting
drive the
how many
story,
writers we
all that.
have here. Go ahead, Alan.
So your characters should drive drive the story forward without being what's the word I'm looking for where a
Pedantic.
character says something for no reason just for that story. Yeah,
Oh, you mean
just
Right.
make sure that you're
excessive,
Yeah.
so
verbose.
um,
Yeah, there's
just
The word is boring. It's
stay true to
boring.
the character. And when I say that I act like my characters is because it uh they end up writing themselves.
That's
Like, what would
interesting
this
right.
though.
character say in this situation?
That's interesting.
But
Now,
I will say this.
Amy and Mike, you guys are not displaying. It would help me if you did, though.
Oh, Chester, I am not working from my iPad tonight. So when you want to check in, let me know.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Just for me, because I cycle through the art, so more is
Sure,
better,
sure.
right?
Yeah. Just
And
give a
Elrod will pop on in a minute, and of course, I already Elrod's doing Hobbit anyway, so we know. But yeah, it is interesting how many writers we do have here. But yeah, Rosa, I because every year, I'm kind of have a friends that are in the industry, right? So every
Yeah.
year they throw me a bone or two to write something academic. And this year they had the absolute audacity. They threw me. I have to do a monograph on Thutmose the Second.
Ooh,
You know how I
I
feel
got.
about the Egyptologists.
Oh no.
They're trying to
And I'm
make
Good.
me one of
gonna say
them.
this. You know what? I'm gonna say something. Did you see what they found supposedly under the pyramids, and what do you have to think about this? Because now's the time for me to ask
Chester
you.
told us about it months ago.
I did.
I
Yeah.
know, but how do you
Yeah.
feel about it now that the
Um.
Egyptologists are in on it?
Well, they're actually resisting. They're not in on it.
Are they?
Just because I have a degree in Egyptology, don't put me into that group.
No, you're not
Right.
one of
Anyway,
them.
I'm not one of them. But no. Well, first of all, it comes back to what I've been saying on this channel forever, and I've always said. The problem with historians is they never bother to care what the people themselves say, right? For
Yeah.
for we've been on for decades now since the genome has been completed, and we've been doing all this mapping of the genetic movement of humanity, and et cetera, et cetera. And they're going on with their estimations of what they think when the Asians came in and the Native Americans became a thing, and they just throw numbers around, and they never bother to just go ask the Indians,
Yeah, really.
because the Indians will tell
Interesting.
you very clearly, we came in about 1,500 years ago, right? But they don't do that. And Egyptology is the same thing. And I'll tell you what the Egyptians or the Cometians say about what was under the pyramids, because they do say, right?
Yes, in the book.
They talk about the pillars. They talk about the machines that allows them to speak to the gods on other planets. They talk about this, and they're very
Hmm.
clear what the pyramids are. They're machines. They're not tombs. But the problem with historians, you don't know this because they don't care what the Cometians had to say.
Well, that did
Hmm.
That's how
Budge
it
didn't
is. So yeah,
didn't Walt
we knew about this the whole time. Everyone, anyone who actually studies Egyptology and has read all the stuff, they go on and on about this stuff. We know it's there, and now we just finally have confirmation. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so, yeah, so I didn't dream it when I thought that Budge actually put it in the Egyptian Book of the Dead, right?
No,
He said,
it's everywhere. Yeah.
yeah,
They talk
it's
about
like
the pyramids, and the whole pyramid wars, which is one of the best fully intact stories from ancient Egypt that we have. There was two pyramid wars, right? And we have the totality of both of them, which is great, right?
uh
Because we tend to have a lot more of the Mesopotamian stuff, because there are millions and millions and millions of tablets, right? And we
mhm,
get information on Egypt from there as well, because keep in mind, they are, the Indus Valley culture, the Mesopotamian cultures, and the Cometian cultures were all connected, right? But the point is, go see if you can find. Probably you could probably find it free online. Find the Pyramid Wars. There were two of them, and I know I've seen them in separate books and together in one book. I have seen it. But go have a read on it. Go take a look at the Pyramid Wars and see what the Cometian story about what was going on. It's pretty badass,
uh,
because the title might not have given you a hint, though, but it's involving the pyramids
and wars.
and wars and brothers fighting
It,
over the power that it was. And after that was all said and done, they shut down the pyramids of Giza for what their purpose was, and rebuilt a new communication center in the Sinai. Because that's what they are. The Egyptians, the Cometians, sorry, these things were built to communicate with They're people out in the heavens. It was a heavenly communication device, is what they say it was, right? And of course, now we have what, nearly 2 kilometers of man-made structure underneath the frickin' are you kidding me?
Is
Nice.
Yeah, okay, but do you
that's
think there,
nice.
like, did it get
No,
sand
Riley.
or was it dug in?
Well, no, it's clearly man-made. You have
I mean,
these hollow
yeah,
tube
oh,
structures, which I'm sure are made out of some kind of concrete, and they have these seems metallic loops, coils going all the way down them, and that right there is around 800 meters. 800 meters. And then they're sitting on top of these gigantic blocks, buildings, which in and of themselves is another nearly 700 some odd meters. Plus, you have a full moving ocean under there that is moving. The water is being brought up. And then sitting on top of that, just below the pyramid, is a gigantic cavern space that has a whole bunch of buildings in it, like a little mini village, right? So
There's water down there too?
a lot. Now, keep in mind, the Egyptians know right well what this stuff is. They're full of shit. They've been that way my entire life. They hide this stuff. My entire life, the Egyptians have been quietly trying to suck all the water out from under Giza. I'm literally meaning 50 years of them trying to pump water out. And they can't seem to get to the end of it. I wonder why.
Hmm.
You don't hear no one talk about that, do you?
nope.
Bastards.
But they're going to.
They got their caught with their pants down here, didn't they? Yeah.
Mhm.
It's wonderful. I'm very happy.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I had my black girl
Take
moment
that,
there. It's all right.
Egyptologists.
Damn Egyptologists. Yeah. Because one thing
What's
I've
gonna
said here
happen though? Like
before,
if we communicate with the gods again,
I don't think
would they
that's
be
a good
like, "New
idea.
phone, who dis?"
I
Like,
don't
what's
think
gonna
that's a good idea. I wouldn't do that. They were not very nice to us, Alan. Yeah.
They had very
happen? Like, what would happen if they?
wicked
I
deities.
mean, CERN's probably
Sure. But I
they're
mean,
just trying to do it. I think without it.
now, what's going to happen is the historians are going to say, "Well, this is just their fantastical thinking and dreams that they're communicating with the ancient gods on some alien planet. That's just their imagination, or meant to fool the masses, or something like that." Like there's a temple in Greece, for instance, temple of Jupiter or Zeus. That literally has underneath the temple and above it, there's this baffling system that when you come in, it creates this kind of kind of sound. It's kind of freaky. Oh my God, God's here, right? Yeah, it's a bit of the charlatan. We do have evidence of that being a thing, but I gotta have to call shenanigans, because you don't build 2 kilometers deep of something for a prank.
Laugh.
No, there's no pranking here. That's way too much.
It's also impossible. We couldn't do that. Keep in mind, we cannot build standing structures that are that tall. We have not yet to suppress that number, right? And keep in mind, there's 8 of them.
Yep.
I mean,
So it's
are any
like
of these
8 skyscrapers higher than we can build are sitting underneath
Well,
that
here's
freaking pyramid.
brilliance of it. If you're thinking about it from just throw everything else out the window and talk about it from engineering perspective. Why build
right?
upward into the air when you can actually drill straight down, have the structure actually supported if you can go to bedrock and if you can do it through the right soil? There's no reason to have to go through all the stabilization and everything else that you have to go through with a skyscraper. If you can build down into the earth and it's in a stable enough area or region that you can do so
No,
without
that's
or
another problem. I get your point, Rosa, and I've heard people make that
yeah.
statement. But the way the structures are built, you can't do that. These things, they dug a 2 kilometer deep hole and built these
Oh, I agree.
things,
Super deep.
right?
That's what I'm saying.
And first of all, tell me anyone in history who has ever built a gigantic 2 kilometer deep hole. Anybody? Hands up.
I mean,
God,
even
he built
the
hell.
The camera on right now. Otherwise, you'd see my hand.
Okay, very good.
Far,
Unless you were a dwarf from Lord of the Rings. They dug too
Clearly,
deep.
you haven't seen my elevator.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. But I mean, it is so wonderful, guys. It's so wonderful
Right.
because this is going to put them in a pinch that they don't want to be
Mhm.
in, and they're going to have to start talking about stuff they don't want to talk about. Because keep in mind, you can take a text, right? You could take a text, whatever, from any of the ancient cultures that we have. And keep in mind, the Indus Valley culture, that we have thousands and thousands of parchments from them that we've never been able to translate. And some beautiful,
Mhm.
wonderful man last year finally broke the code. So we're going to be
Oh,
getting a
wow.
whole bunch of good shit coming out of there. Van Lake is
Was that
popping
you,
off.
Chester? Did you break the code?
I'm not got no comment,
Oh.
sir. No, it's an old dude.
You.
Well, you said
Good.
a beautiful man, so right away I thought of you.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
just
right
pure
away.
love for him, man. That's a wonderful thing, right? The Voyic script has been translated. Well, it broke. The code has been broken finally too. That's pretty cool. This turned out to be an amazing year for archaeology, by the way, everybody.
Nice.
It's
Yeah.
really, really pumping. I'm so happy about it. But these Egyptologists, they're backed into a corner now, because now, like I said, you'll have these texts, right? And
Mhm.
in the text, there will be something, the whole bunch of stories and a whole bunch of information. Sometimes it's stories, sometimes it's allegory, and a lot of time
Mhm.
it's just historical information, right? It's a mix.
Right. Like
But
receipts.
what these, you'll take one text, and each text is in and of itself one of those things. It's not all together, obviously,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But they'll take something on a historical text, they'll say, oh, this is great information, and they'll put it forward as truth. But in the same damn text, there'll be other things like, oh, no, that's just fantasy. What?
Which is it?
So yeah, it's very irritating, and I'm already seeing them trying to say, well, we're not really sure what the data says yet, we'll have to be patient, even though we have very, very clear of what this is, because the imagery was very good, right? And good on that technology if you're leveling it up. I initially thought it was lidar, but it's not. It's actually an older tech that they've modded over the years and leveled up. But I should say we start putting lidar on that shit, because one thing that's going to help with that, even though I know it's expensive, we have to move satellites. But hey, what else you got to do with them? But
There you go.
there is empty space there, right? So in amongst these columns, therefore lidar is going to be very effective in this case. So we'll see how it works out. But yeah, I'm absolutely elated. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
It does sound really interesting. Now, found these images, do we know? Have they been discovered just recently, or have they been hiding someplace?
Well, they had some imagery from before, and it showed that something was just underneath, but it wasn't very clear. And then
Mm.
years later, here the technology has been leveled up extremely. And
Yeah.
someone put the money up because this stuff is expensive, right? This is very
Ooh.
expensive technology, because we're talking about moving satellites and using in satellite imagery, right? This isn't
Oh, from
like
space.
having like
Oh,
a
wow.
helicopter over. This is from space, right?
Mm.
And But someone finally put the money up, because I think it was a year or two ago they did it with the big pyramid, the great one.
Mhm.
And of course that's where they found there's still a big giant chamber inside the pyramid we haven't got into yet, right? That came out a
Wow.
couple of years ago, right? So they
Mhm.
took that same technology, put the money up, and did the Khafre pyramid, and boom,
Mhm.
literally, nearly 2 kilometers deep, structures. It's insane. It's insane.
Wow.
And imagine when they start popping those things off. Keep in mind, like in Luxor, here's another thing they don't
Mhm.
tell you, by the way. When just a few years ago in Luxor, they were picking up all the floor tiles. Now, when
Mhm.
you think of a floor tile in your house, you're thinking about something about 6 inches square, right? But
Sure.
that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about a thing that's like, these tiles like 6, 8 feet, right?
Oh,
They're
okay.
gigantic tiles, but they're picking up all the floor tiles to clean up underneath them because they want to keep the temples nice and touristy, right?
Sure.
But they were taking up these tiles to clean and organize the temple, and then they found out,
Mhm.
oh look, there's a whole nother room down there with columns just as big as they are here.
Mm.
So, oh, that's interesting. And of course, everyone's excited, like, oh, great, let's see what we get. What's going to
Mhm.
be in there? And then not a word since. They cut funding, they shut down the project, they shut down everything, and they put the tiles back, and nothing from the Egyptians. Nothing.
Is
How
that their
was
government, I guess, that buried it, or?
Oh yeah, they're corrupt bastards. Just like up in Baalbek, they shut down stuff. Up in Gobekli Tepe, they shut all that shit down because people were starting to get really good information. They're like, "Oh, you can't have that."
But what does it benefit them to lie? Do they think people are less interested in visiting them?
No, I think that there is some
no? They want
collected
to keep us
group.
cattle.
They do. Yeah, they don't want us to understand our history is way more than we think it is.
Hmm.
Just like the entire city, they found
It's a
out the
lot
West.
bigger and weirder.
It is. And off the west coast of India, for instance, there's an entire city underneath the water that's got like 12-story buildings, a gigantic, the size of
What?
frickin' New York, with
Oh.
12-story buildings. Now, sure, New York has got a lot bigger buildings, but we're talking about antediluvian here, right?
Mhm.
This is before the ocean rising, right? And then of course the Indian government absolutely forbids anybody looking at it. If you take boats over there, they'll have boats will come and monitor to make sure you're not using any kind of radar or sonar technology. They've shut it down 100%. They won't even brook the conversation, right?
Oh
We
my.
have things going on in Cambodia. It's very similar. All over the world. You go into the island of Crete. Oh my God, the island of Crete. Do you know how many skeletons that have been found in Crete inside cairn tombs? Right.
Mhm.
Skeletons that are like 2.5, 3 meters tall. Right.
Now,
And
are
we
so
have
better preserved because
photographs. We even have some of them, but the government absolutely shuts it down. Absolutely shuts it down. If you go into one of these things, or if you find something on your property, you will have your property confiscated. I can go on and on, by the way,
For
right?
what?
So the question is why? It's a worldwide thing.
Why?
It's not one country or another. Why
Yeah.
do
What?
they refuse to allow us to understand our history? Because what's the big deal? So what?
Right.
Aliens.
You know the truth. So.
Because that's what gives them power, right?
Yeah, but is that a really acceptable answer though, Jason?
Mm-mm.
I guess not.
Yeah. So I mean I can you
There's
tell I'm
always there's
irritated?
always a lot more to that. Yeah.
I mean, at this point, they probably don't know why they do it because it's been going on so long.
That's fair.
Mm.
No, that's a fair statement
Yeah,
because it
true.
has been going on so long. It's been going on since the 19th century,
Why did? Yeah.
and it couldn't even be
Why?
older
Why
than
do I
that.
have this answer?
It couldn't
Yeah.
even be older than that because we do have like a really famous example of this is there was a dig going on in
Mhm.
the late 19th century, early 20th century, that was what became known, of course, as Troy. We found Troy,
Mhm.
right?
Oh wow.
And Troy is one of
yeah,
those
one of the
series. Yeah, it's one of those cities like Jericho that has had human habitation for just ridiculous thousands of years. People had just always lived there, right?
Mhm.
And of course, they're going through the layers. The initial people involved really weren't the most professional archaeologists, but we did get more
Ooh.
professionals in there, and they started digging stuff and bringing stuff up. And of course,
Mhm.
they came across a cache of vases, right? A whole bunch of vases, right?
Mhm.
And they're pretty good size. I'd say they're about nearly 2 foot in height, and the kind of a nice balance in width. I don't have the dimensions in my hand. However,
Right.
they are of course very very typical Greek, Macedonian era type of stuff. A
Mhm.
little bit further back, probably a little bit before Solon actually, but nevertheless. And of course, what they do is they'll put little scenes, little history or mythological scenes on there. But they you
Yeah, they're
had
great though.
yeah, but you had one of the warriors on. These were all created at the same time, and
Mhm.
one of the warriors in there has a shield, but it's clearly a dinosaur skull, right?
That's so
And of course, now what's the big deal? They found or of course we used the old word for dinosaur is dragon, by the way, just so you know. But so what's the big deal? Some Greek guy found a dinosaur skull. They probably had it on some display, and some artist was like, "Hey, that'd be cool as a shield." It's probably what happened,
cool
right?
shield.
Right?
All right.
But
Yeah.
that thing disappeared for frickin' nearly 100 years
Wow.
Really?
because it
Oh.
wasn't allowed to be seen by the public. Why? What's the big deal with some guy drawing a dinosaur skull? As if the ancients wouldn't have known of those things.
Right. Like
I
they
mean, we
didn't.
find
They
them.
weren't digging in their logs.
Well, they're mining all the time. Of course, they ran into stuff.
That would
they did.
indicate that they know.
I know the church wants to control the narrative of our origins.
Well, and they were like seafaring people, so they could have gotten it out of the ocean too.
They could have.
Oh,
Yeah, it could have come through trade. Who knows? There's a lot of
Mhm.
documentation in the past of people coming across dinosaur bones, and that's a lot of the
Yeah.
stories about dragons is them simply finding the bones.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're going, wow, this was something really big.
Yeah, and
Wait, is that
and
true?
for modern people,
No
that's not a
way.
big deal, right? It's
Right.
just a
Why would
dinosaur.
that be a problem?
But
Mhm.
they can't let you have it. And this is going on
Yeah.
all the time. You gotta understand, if you're a person inside the field making money and you say the wrong thing, not only do you lose your job, they will make sure you never work again. This is shit that's
That's
been
called
going on my
peer,
whole life. It's not a joke. It's serious. Many
no, I know
people
it's
have
peer
been ruined.
review has absolutely destroyed what should have been where they would go in and just quality check to make sure your work met a certain standard. Instead, it's become a way to control narrative completely, and it is out of control, absolutely,
It
in
is.
the industry.
It is. I
Any,
know. I know right well. I can't.
oh yeah,
I have to write when I write my stuff. I have to write it in an academic way. I can't put any of my opinions in there whatsoever.
mm.
Now, usually I don't write about anything that would have an odd opinion anyway. But what was that,
I mean,
Alan?
Unless you work for the New York Times or the Atlantic.
Wah, wah.
Oh, that's
I guess if you have approved opinion, you can put your own opinion in.
well, probably the most controversial opinion I've ever had that I got pushback on was one of my thesis I wrote for school, right?
Right.
Was the migration of the horse and textile from west to east. Whereas at that time, it was very soundly put out that no, these things came from east to west. But I argued
Hmm.
that wasn't true in my thesis, right? And it got passed, and I got all my credentials and stuff. But there was pushback against it, and I was vindicated 30 years later because they finally found out, hey, you know what? It was west to east.
There you go.
There you go.
Did you send them
Well,
all a
it's
I
not
told
like
you
an
so?
entire side of the world wasn't doing anything before such and such a date.
I could have done a ha ha. Yeah, I could have done that.
Did you post that to them on their Facebook or whatever?
No, I didn't say anything. I didn't have to. But
Oh,
thank you.
I'm
That was even
not
better
an
than mine.
Egyptologist.
Yeah. The Egyptologists are the worst. The worst. Like in Bosnia, they found these pyramids laid out very similar to as you would find in South America or Egypt or in Mesopotamia, right? And of course, it's not like it's
Right.
very far from there. It's the same region, right? And they found this complex of pyramids. That the problem was they're just way bigger than Giza, way bigger, right? And there
Mhm.
was all kind of great archaeology coming out of
There's a mountain.
there. They were finding all kind of stuff, and the Egyptologists were just throwing fire trying to shut that down. The government supported them for a while, but something came in and they flipped and were like, oh yeah, we're gonna shut it down. Well, you had people working behind the scenes, constantly
Mhm.
hacking at that and pushing against the Egyptologists. One of them being Graham Hancock, and thank God for Graham, because he has a
Mhm.
voice, right? He has a powerful voice.
Wait, wasn't he
Um,
God, wasn't he God, Guns, and Germs?
hmm?
Didn't he write that? Didn't
I'm
Graham Hancock write God, Guns, and Germs?
I'm not sure, although he's written a lot of things.
Yeah.
But his lobbying amongst others finally got it to come, and now we're starting to get information the end of last year coming into this year that yes, in fact, they are pyramids. We already knew this, but now it's being acknowledged. So actually, the largest pyramids in the world, acknowledged pyramids in the world, are actually in Bosnia, not Egypt.
Bosnia.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Huh.
Well, let's find out what's under them.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all popping, by the way. This is going to be a big year for archaeology. I know for most people they don't give a shit, but
No, it's interesting.
it is interesting, and it's telling more about our past. Nevertheless, we're not talking about Chuck Dixon at all.
Oh, I'm
Well,
sorry. I have to correct
Oh,
this.
but we definitely need a Egypt night, I guess.
Chuck's kind of old.
He is
It's
kind of
and
old.
it's
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Graham
fair.
Hancock didn't write it. Guns, Germs, and Steel by Jared Diamond. I've got it
Diamond.
all
I
wrong.
see.
I failed completely. Sorry.
Well, what happened was, um, in the late 19th century, you had this big revival of interest in these ancient stories, right? And it
Mhm.
was a big hit, and it was very popular with people, and it carried on all the way up until the 70s, 60s, and 70s. And what happened was quite sad at the time, but it ended up creating what we have now. There were several authors that wrote things that were pretty interesting. Of course, Eric von Donigan, of course, wrote his book. Was that The Fingerprints of the Gods or whatever it was? And of course, Zachariah Sitchin started writing his 12 Planet series, which
Fingerprints
was
of the Gods is actually Graham Hancock. That's
okay.
actually Graham Hancock.
It's the one of the Von Doniken came out with a book.
Yeah.
They made they had Leonard Nimoy and everything do a whole
Oh,
documentary on it.
yeah.
But anyway, and of course Zachary Sitchin as well. Now, of course, the Sitchin stuff is mainly just translation more than anything else. But nevertheless, um, the academic world, I guess, had had enough, and they came out and just ravaged them. Just no evidence whatsoever. Just oh, you're idiots! Rah, rah, rah. They just got absolutely venomous, and of course, it didn't have the effect they wanted because more people started reading their stuff, and it created a whole generation of people that were like, "Hey, wait a minute." And now we have dozens and dozens of people doing actual science and all kind of stuff, and it's great. Graham Hancock, who I appreciate because he's done a lot to help. He's more of a reporter than anything, a journalist,
Oh,
and
I wonder if
he.
that's the earliest recording of the Streisand effect.
Oh wow. Okay, that you had to throw that out there. But
Yep.
to be fair, Graham in this recent years has been all about ayahuasca and more of the spiritual side, which a lot of those guys from his era have kind of shifted into that for some reason. But whatever. But there's a whole new young generation that are coming out and challenging and questioning things. And one of the things that's been really helpful here just this year has been AI. Like the
True.
Voyage manuscripts, for instance, where people have been trying to decode that thing for literally 500 years, right?
Mhm.
Finally, we're starting to get it broke. The code is getting broken, and of course, it was AI that let us do that, and multispectral imaging as well. But yeah, it's starting to come, and this is going to be an amazing year. Like I said, they threw me Tutmosis II because uh, we found his original tomb a couple of years ago, but it was empty because it had been flooded. So of course they had to build a new one for him and move him in. And they found where they think it is. It's a pretty serious tomb that has been protected. And here in April or possibly May, they'll finally break through into the tomb itself. That's why they
What?
throw me that they want me to write that. So
Wait, it was flooded?
the first one was, and the queen, his queen, who's much more famous than he is, was very pissed off about it. So
Oh.
she had them build a new one for her husband.
Oh, well, that's sweet.
Well, anyway, and now keep in mind the big. There's been gold and stuff found in many tombs. It's just the media doesn't cover it. The one that was hugely covered, of course, was Tutankhamun, right? Everybody knows King Tut, right? But keep in mind, he was a transition king, a pharaoh. His there's a whole bunch of
I think they had that back then.
well, no, there was a whole bunch of crazy stuff going on at that
Oh.
time. So he was actually, keep in mind, with King Tut, the tomb he was given was a used tomb. It was a tomb of a woman, not a man's tomb.
Is that
And
because he
his
identified as a woman?
no,
Well,
because he wasn't being respected as he should been, but they had to bury him properly. So my point being is, King Tut's tomb was very minor affair. Tutmosis II's tomb, because it was seriously with concrete and that they had a huge chamber going down to block it off with concrete and rubble. They didn't want anyone getting into that thing, and they've been drilling through it here. That thing is going to be intact. That was a full-on respected top-end pharaoh. When they go in there, it's going to blow people's mind what they pull out of there.
Wow.
It's
I
going
have
to be
to
so
get some
cool.
pictures and stuff.
Oh,
That's
it's
gonna be
coming. It's
amazing.
coming. I'm telling you, by summertime, you're going to have a full-on documentaries on it. It's going to be badass.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
If they release it to the public, if they actually tell the truth.
Aliens.
Well, yeah, well, it's just a tomb, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Still,
you're
if
right,
it's
Thunder.
they've
It's
also-
still not about Chuck Dixon. In a way, I'm sure he's written about space alien Egyptians. I'm sure he has.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He's Chuck Dixon.
G.I. Joe, I'm sure, went to adventure
Ra's al
somewhere.
Rosh
Yeah,
al Ghul.
where
Yeah,
there's a-
no, the Lazarus Pit. There you go. Good job.
There you go.
That's Denny O'Neil.
Yeah, but well, you got the point.
Chuck Dixon's a journeyman writer.
Did read
You
was
know, he's
the
written some Ra's al Ghul stories, no doubt.
Being a pain in the butt, that's all.
He didn't really create any of his own things. He's just basically a journeyman that's done everything.
Yeah, that's true. He's got a few things he's created, but yeah, he's a journeyman, just like R.T. Bear and the other ones we've mentioned. Yeah, it's great though. But yeah. The actually one of my favorite little series there. I don't know if it was in the comic. My kids watched it. It was dealing with Lazarus Pit. Raish was dead, supposedly. His daughter Talia, and Batman, of course, was old man. This is Batman Beyond, and he was super old and I guess dying. And Talia helped to put him in the Lazarus Pit, an improved process into the Lazarus Pit to make him young again. Of course, Batman realized that there was more going on than that because somehow Ra's al Ghul was in the body of his daughter. I know, weird.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
It was.
Ooh.
Yeah.
They actually adapted more than one of Chuck's stories for Batman the Animated Series. I think it's called A Bullet for Bullock. It was with the where they kept putting a hit on him, and it was just one of the other tenants who couldn't stand him because he's a pig. So Batman's doing all this heavy lifting for nothing to find out it's just a persnickety tenant 1 floor below him or something like that. It was good.
Yeah.
Hey, a bullet's a bullet, even if it comes from a persnickety neighbor. It's still going to kill.
That's not good.
What was that, Rosa? Everything broke up.
Well, I said a bullet's still a bullet, even if it's from just your persnickety neighbor. If you even don't have a conspiracy behind it, it's still going to kill you dead.
Yep.
So
That's
Batman did good.
That's a yep.
I do love this Bane that's coming together here. It's pretty cool. Even though it's Eric's. That's all right.
Oh, sorry.
No, sorry. Stop being good, Eric.
If you're watching, you're going to see me cheat here.
Okay. I'll look away.
No, you can watch.
They updated the stuff here on Discord, and but now they took away my ability to jump back, so I have to do it in a weird way now.
No, it's there. I was searching for it too. So if you click on someone, if you click on the more options at the very bottom
Yeah.
and select grid view again, then it takes you back. Yeah,
Nah.
it's dumb.
Now, does that
Yeah.
stay?
Yeah, it'll stay at grid until you click on someone again.
And then it shuts it off, so I have to go back. That's annoying.
Yeah. Yes. I guess they did it sometime this week because I hadn't seen it.
Yeah, no. These people, they're always
Always
touching
messing with
stuff.
shit.
Always messing with it. It's the same thing with those damn politicians. They get up there and act like they did something, but all they did was add a layer to a law that already has 12 layers on it. That's all they ever do, right?
They just
There's
rename a
that.
law, right?
That too, and just create a ton of documents no one's going to read. It's just to say, look what I did. Vote for me, you fuckers. I mean, honestly, one of the things we definitely need to do is change the Congress from 2 years to 4 years, minimally. Because the problem is, with only 2 years, they spend very little time actually doing their job. Most of their time, they're out campaigning so they get reelected.
Congressmen don't even do anything. There's actually a video of a congressman like videoing like Democrats on their phones playing on social
Playing video
media, or
games,
just
yeah.
fooling around.
Yeah. No, I agree. Senators have more time to get stuff done, but I don't know if they're any more useful, to be honest with you.
Probably not.
But I think
Less
it should be
government.
4,
No.
6 for the Senate, and 8 for the president, and then put term
With
limits
reelection?
on it. What?
Yeah, that's the most important thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 term limits on each of those numbers, because it's another problem that the world really doesn't like. Having an American election every 4 years, you don't understand how much that frustrates the world, and even especially our allies. And this is a perfect example. We went how radical a shift we just had from the Biden administration to the Trump administration, right? And this happened. This can potentially happen every 4 years. It's a real pain in the ass. Um, so you know, we need to adjust it, and I think 8 years for the president. I think, and give him 2 or
Sounds good.
3 year, 3 term limits as you like. Two's fine. Let's do that.
Yeah.
8-year limits.
Well, I know because the Congress should be up to 4 years. The Senate is 6, I think, is fine, and the president should be 8 year term, and there be a limit, a term limit of 2. So a president potentially could do 16 years, which is very, very comparable to what the rest of the world leaders do. Right? I mean, how
Imagine if
long
we
has
had
Putin
Biden
been
for
on?
16 years.
Well, we also have things in place that can remove incompetent or incapable presidents. We have the ability to do that. And if
We
like
do.
Ronald Reagan, he would have never gone any
Yeah.
longer if it happened earlier, right? Everyone knew what was going on with Ronnie, but we have things in place to deal with that. But I'm just saying that it causes a lot of angst in the world, that every 4 years you could get a radical shift in America, and it's not good for stability.
Mm-mm.
Well then, less government is better because then it's just the American people.
Which is really what Trump's trying to accomplish this time, and I hope he does.
Yeah. Me too.
I mean, it's his main goal is to pare down the government and clean up the mess. He's not really looking to do anything new. He's just looking to see if he can't fix the situation.
Right. Once you get everybody able to kind of take care of their own lives and run their own country,
Right.
then it should be pretty clear sailing from there.
It's pretty refreshing, because the American government has never had an actual proper audit, never.
Good point.
Yeah.
What was it they were saying? Like the Secretary of the Treasury wanted to audit that, and they were like, "No, you're not allowed." A judge
Well,
ordered that they
Clinton
weren't
and
allowed
Gore
to.
wanted to do it, and they got shut down too.
Isn't that strange?
No, it's not, because that's where they get all their money to do all their wacky things. They make the taxpayer pay for their crazy ideas. Their campaigning, all that kind of nonsense. It's where were the ones paying for it. That's what I said. It was it caught me a little off guard because I really thought we were dealing more with oligarchic issues, and we are. But in the end, it turned out to be really a plutocracy, is what's going on.
Plutocracy.
Yeah, meaning the government itself, or you can say bureaucracy if you prefer, but we use that word differently. So plutocracy is more specific. Whereas an oligarchy is the businessmen run everything. So we're getting hit from both sides, really, is the problem, right?
The government is the business, and the business is the government. It almost needs its own word at that point, beyond plutocracy or oligarchy.
I don't know. I think plutocracy does it just fine. And besides, I like saying plutocracy. It reminds me of a really good movie that Eddie Murphy did. It was called Pluto Nash. You should watch it.
Oh.
You troll. You dirty man.
Thank you.
How dare you?
Thank you. I'll be here all week. That was a good one, though. Come on, I get points.
Yes, you do. You get 73 points.
Thank you. Yeah, it was actually a really bad movie, which is unfortunate because Eddie, when he hits, boy, it's great. But I'm kind of wondering how many people's favorite Eddie Murphy movie is Shrek, though.
No. Do you think it's what do you think his best movie is?
48 Hours.
48 Hours? Is that also the funniest?
Yeah, that's a great movie. It's what created the buddy cop genre.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
A whole genre.
His Beverly Hill Cops was good too.
Trading
Places, that was a good
Trading
one.
Places.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. The Golden Child, actually, I like.
That's not bad.
I like the
Life.
Golden Child.
Was it called Life? Life? The one reason jail forever?
I don't remember that
No,
one.
that's Cosby.
Oh,
That's like
10 points.
him and Martin Lawrence. It's like his only good like modern movie.
Well, no, Dolomite.
Norbit.
Dolomite's
Norbit,
My
that's
Name
your
was
favorite.
great. No, it's not. Don't lie. Norbit was horrible.
You know what was a good one that he did for family movies? Did you guys ever watch Daddy Daycare?
No.
Yes, I've watched it.
For kids, it's great. Lots of laughs.
Yeah.
Really?
Well,
Yeah,
Dr.
it was
Doolittle
fun.
kind of fell into that category as well.
Yes, that too.
Yeah,
For Nutty Professor, I thought was pretty good.
Yeah, that
Kinda
was
campy, but
that was
it
an
had a lot
interesting
of-
remake. And wasn't it cool that when he remade that, no one said, "Hey, why is a black dude doing the Jerry Lewis thing?" No one cared.
What's the one with Steve Martin?
Why isn't he yelling at crippled kids?
Yeah.
Hey,
Steve Martin and Eddie Murphy. Goodness gracious.
Yes. Bowfinger.
Not even the same.
Bowfinger. Really. Yeah. Okay.
So good. The movie that was covered up
Banderos, Name of the
because,
Obvious,
it makes
Coming
fun
to
of
America.
Scientology.
Yeah, but then they went and
Coming to America
ruined
was
it
alright.
with the sequel, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's no one mentioned it at first.
I didn't even have to watch the
everyone
movie. I knew it was
gagging.
going to be terrible.
Wow, they just can't help themselves. They're so idiots. I mean, look what they did with Game of Thrones, right? Game of Thrones, first 4 seasons, some of the best TV ever made, right? And then, boy, did that thing fall off. And it's because Martin got kicked out by those 2 bozos that thought, we don't need him. We can do it ourselves. And, of course,
Because they ran out of books.
that
ran out of books.
that
They couldn't
too,
do
but at
anything.
least they had him there referencing
His
until they
fault.
kicked him out. It is his fault. But I mean, the point I'm trying to make is that book has a lot of powerful women in it anyway. Why did we need to girl boss it out even more and destroy character arcs, storylines, all kind of things? It's absolutely ridiculous. It's so dumb. That they actually had Daenerys fly her dragon Drogo over the wall. Now, if you've read the books, you know right well those dragons won't go over those walls because those walls were built by the wildlings, and there's magic put in there to keep supernatural creatures from passing, right? Except for the Black Gate, right? The Black Gate's the only way in and out because the Starks actually have a deal with the White Walkers in the books. There's well, anyway, I don't want to get too deep, but but those dragons never go over that damn wall. They refuse. But yet in the series, no problem. She's flying into the rescue with her dragon over the wall. When I saw that, I was like, "Oh, you fuckers!"
Doesn't she go
Again,
totally ape and just kill the
I know.
entire cast in the end of the show?
She does. She kills everyone. Like, well, except
Yeah.
for the Starks and Tyrion, of course. That's another thing too. That at least they didn't lose their way 100% because John, Targaryen, Jon Snow, he is technically the hero of the story, I guess. But really, the story is about Tyrion Lannister, right? Is really what it's about. And in the end, they didn't screw it up. And Tyrion is the last scene we see is Tyrion, right? So at least they didn't screw that up. But oh boy, don't get me started on Game of Thrones, man. People need to be
No, those
smacked.
guys,
did they come up with a reason?
those
Like, did
guys
he
got
come up
a
with?
deal to do Star Wars.
They lost that, yeah. But yeah, their reason was this: girl power. That's their
But
reason.
that's not going to help the dragons. She
Mm.
might be able to climb over the wall, but they wouldn't.
No, of course, because
Yeah,
of the
those
magic.
guys got
But
a deal to do.
Right.
they got to have girl power girl coming in though, even though she is the ultimate villain of the series.
Oh, is
Daenerys.
she?
Oh yeah, Targaryen. Daenerys Targaryen is the villain. Oh yeah.
Well,
So
no,
dragons are bad guys.
they've been doing this a lot with villains where they create a villain and then we're going to make them the
Yeah.
actual hero, especially
Yeah.
when it's female, because she's trying to make Batman the heel when he's not even doing a heel turn. He's not doing a heel turn. He's not trying to do it. Those are cool stories when you have a real heel turn
Right.
happen and suddenly your villain goes south or your hero goes south. But to simply,
John,
you go girl, and suddenly Harley is this and Ivy are somehow good guys because Batman
And,
wanted to oppress them.
and
Is
lesbian lovers do not leave that out.
well, the fact that there's all sorts of
they
creepiness going
become
on.
good guys because they were popular.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's okay to
also
make a
there's no way
they're
in hell that Ivy is going to have a sexual relationship with a human.
Mm-mm.
Not a chance.
She's a pansexual.
She is a plant sexual. You're right.
She likes
She's not a pescatarian.
The whole
I
thing, yeah, she literally
thought that was a
the
fish
opposite
thing.
of a humanitarian.
Yeah, no, she is. She hates humans. But
She does,
yeah, there's examples galore. It's just the Game of Thrones is a really good example because they had something with a lot of powerful women's anyway. Cersei's arc in the books is great, right? Because she gets real evil and bad, but you kind of understand why, right? Whereas Daenerys is just absolutely delusional, like the Sparrow High Father, right? The High Sparrow. They're just delusional because the thing with Daenerys, she actually thinks she's saving the world, and that's why she's so dangerous, and that's how Tyrion convinces Jon Snow in the TV series to kill her. But that is hinted at in the books that she is a zealot, effectively. But she is the bad guy, right? But of course, they try to sympathize her. Anyway. And of course, putting Brand in charge didn't make sense. If you read the book, it's clear that Jon is supposed to be the king in the north. It's clear that that's where it's going. But they, for some reason, didn't want to give the hero the up, and they give the blind kid, not the blind kid, the paralyzed kid, Brand, to be the one in charge. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Matter of fact, I would guess if he ever actually finishes it, which he won't, that Brand dies. That's what I would assume. Yeah.
I guess. I really do hope everybody does better, but I don't know if they finished the story. I wonder if he's motivated to try and finish it himself, or if he's just kind of like,
Nah,
meh.
he's moved on to other things. He doesn't care at all about it. He doesn't.
He got those paychecks. That's all that matters.
Yeah, he's done. He's done. Yeah. But
That's how I would look at it. I'm like, well, I'm a millionaire now. I don't need to do that anymore.
well, he says
More.
he's bored with it. He has no motivation.
Oh,
Yeah, probably.
well, that's honesty.
Yeah. He's pissed a lot of people off.
It would be funny if watch him. That was his real ending, and everyone hated it, so he doesn't want to finish it because that was his actual.
Like, oh, that wasn't mine though. That would be
You never
funny.
know.
Go up with a better one.
It's like, how did they figure out how I was going to end it? Darn it.
Well, the thing is,
I don't know.
I do like his writing. He's like the anti-Tolkien, right? And actually, I put J.K. Rowling in that same category because Tolkien will creates this amazing. Tolkien has the ability to activate your imagination better than any other writer I've seen because he
Hmm.
gives you very
Because he doesn't
little
do descriptions.
detail. What was that?
Because he doesn't do descriptions except for rocks and trees.
That's right.
Trees. That's
But
true.
yet you have a strong vision in your head of what things look like.
That is
Mhm.
interesting.
It's amazing skill that Tolkien had. Whereas someone like Martin, he is very descriptive, and I like the way he describes stuff. Just the scene of Rob Snow going past the wall to go talk to the wildlings. Just that scene there and describing Rob as he's riding his horse is really good. It's wonderful.
A horse over a wall?
Well, there's the black gate. It moves under the
Oh,
wall
okay.
to get out.
That makes more sense. I was trying
Well,
to picture this horse going straight up a wall.
well, the thing is the whole thing with the wall was the Starks. Those people were the first people there. They came in and conquered what was there. The kind of primitive wildling people, and they are the ones that first banged heads with the White Walkers, right? And they made a deal with the Night King, literally night, not armor, nighttime. And they made a deal with the White Walkers, and basically what they did is they created kind of a pact where one of the Starks married one of the White Walker females and started making children. And of course, that's where the Starks come from. So all Starks have a bit of White Walker in them anyway. And that's why in their tombs you see all the iron. There's a lot of iron that keeps their spirit in, right? It's meant to keep them from rising. The Starks are directly connected to the White Walkers, directly, and they've had a pact for a long time. And the reason the White Walkers are coming strongly now, the way they didn't before, is because they were cheated by the Starks, who broke the pact, and they were coming to retrieve their children, one of which being Jon Targaryen or Jon Snow. That's the lore of the Starks.
Interesting.
And of course, they didn't bother giving you any of that in that TV series, though, did they?
When did they start making their armor suits? Or is that a different Stark?
And now that's a different Stark, yeah, slightly different. But of course, it brings in the Valerian steel, and of course, dragon glass, and all that other stuff comes into the conversation as well. But I think it's a shame that they didn't really kind of let it be known that ultimately all this problem is the Starks doing. It changes the narrative, doesn't it? Because it was the later Andals that came in that gave us all the Lannisters and all that other stuff, right?
Right. That's a lot going on.
It is. Well, it's Martin's a good writer. It's kind of my point.
There you go. He just
Almost
gets
as good as
bored.
Chuck Dixon.
Chuck Dixon's
Yeah,
also a good
almost as
writer.
good as
Different
Yes. When
format.
did Chuck Dixon do this thing you're talking about?
Yeah, I believe it was 1997 spring.
And then he's working on a movie, right?
Yeah. Now he is. That is cool about Chuck. Anyway, I'm going to get some coffee. Can you take over or something, Jeff?
Okay, whatever.
Thank
So
you.
Jeff's
Yeah. You should talk more about how bad Egyptologists are. You should do that.
I will do that.
Thank you.
Go get your coffee. He's wrong about the Starks.
I like how you waited until he had no way to defend himself before you jumped in with that.
Dang straight.
Well, did
He
you
was
like
on
how I
a
said
roll.
about Egyptology? We got like what, an hour out of that? I'm
Yeah, okay.
impressed.
Do you think they had coffee in Egypt?
I
I
know
don't even
that.
know what the subject of the show is anymore.
They had
I'm
cocaine.
I'm drawing the pharaoh.
Are you really cool? Do it for me because I can't.
I'm drawing giant skeletons and aliens
I'm sure that
and
those
Tony
have
Stark.
been.
That's all I know.
Yes. That sounds alright. I'm sure he's drawn them and had them in a story at some point. He did a graphic novel of The Hobbit, or wrote an
Mhm.
adaptation of The Hobbit.
It's got really pretty art.
Oh, does it? Oh, nice. Do you know the
And
artist or
it's weird because
his
it's
work?
always been out of print. It's been reprinted
Hmm.
like once or twice in like the 30 years or whatever that it's been around.
Oh wow.
How funny. Does it seem like a pretty good adaptation?
Yeah, I mean it's The Hobbit. It's close to the cartoon, I guess. I only read like the first issue because I remember when it came out and it was like 4 or 5 issues. And I don't think I ever got the second one. But I just remember it was like kind of above and beyond. Like the art was like almost painted. And at that time,
Ooh.
comics didn't look that way. It may have been too expensive for the company because it was a very small company. Like it had to be pricey to produce.
Like a graphic novel.
Mm-hmm.
Done one in Spanish.
That is not arrow. Or spear, I guess.
El Hobbit.
I remember his stuff with Eclipse Comics the most because that was, I mean, it's his longest run on anything, I think.
What did he write for Eclipse?
He did Airboy, The Heap. Basically, they took a bunch of Golden Age heroes that were in a public domain and kind of rebooted them for the 80s.
Reboot for the 80s. Well, that should be pretty awesome. To make them all look radical and modern.
No, they really didn't.
Really? That's pretty.
There's one character
Like they're
that's
old
kind of like,
too, right?
there's one that's modern in the fact that he flies around in a Apache helicopter, but other than that, they're pretty much 1940s.
They kept the aesthetic, right? Like, Alien kind of did that too. They had like Magnus robot fighter, but it still looked like a book from the
Yeah.
60s.
Mm-hmm. And now no one has Magnus, right? That just kind of vanished. Because Valiant never brought it back when he brought back all their other titles.
Was Magnus a public domain character? Or?
I don't think it was. I think someone actually owns it because Valiant wasn't able to bring it back.
How strange.
I know
When Valiant
Acclaim bought a lot of
relaunched,
their characters. I don't know if Magnus is one of them.
I kind of feel like people need to do more with like orphaned works. Like if you aren't actively doing something, then maybe you can't just leave something dead forever.
Did you say Orphan Works? Like Little Orphan Annie?
Yeah, orphaned works.
time for a gritty reboot of Little Orphan Annie.
Or Bruce Wayne. No, not another.
She's a girl from the
Not
streets.
again.
They call her Annie.
I saw Little Orphan Annie, but that's a different movie.
Oh, no.
What is
Little Orphan Annie.
Yeah, and at least in game development or
Patty
software development
Warbucks.
in general, a piece
Drink
that's
your
not
Ovaltine.
being distributed is referred to as an orphan work.
I do some really good orphan work. You know, begging for cheese and bread. Coughing up blood.
Gosh.
One of my many talents.
Factory
You gotta be a
work,
good orphan out there. Yeah. Coal mine, underage coal mine
coal
work.
mine. Yeah.
I'm the canary.
I thought your name was Stevie. Oh, they call me Canary here.
Oh,
call me the
last
canary.
watching this video is about, they have the
Hey,
canaries that
Stevie,
they
smell this.
take into the mining caves. And they had this it was a canary reviver. So if your canary started going, oh, it looked like I was going to pass out, it's like, oh no, you could seal up its little cage, and then there was a little like emergency tube of oxygen. So your canary could revive and still get everybody out. Because people really worried about their little canaries. I thought, oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, because if you gave a canary mouth to mouth, you never hear the end of it.
Mm-mm.
I don't think it would help because you don't have oxygen.
That's true.
Their poor little black lungs.
Poor the canaries. The coal miners.
Pop.
Found a weird fact about canaries.
Yes.
It's, they're named after dogs.
What?
What?
I like the way we all said that at the same time. What?
So,
What?
What?
so the Canary Islands, the word canary comes from a like canidid, like a dog,
Oh,
and that's where the bird,
It's not named after
and
the
that's where
bird?
the bird came from. So they're named after the island that was named after an island of dogs.
right.
Oh. What? Those weren't
See,
the
I
ones
didn't
they
even
took
know
on
the Canary Islands actually had canaries. I don't know why.
I never made that correlation either, really. But
No.
Yeah, well, it was actually named after dogs.
Hmm.
Canaries from
well,
the
then
word Canada.
what were the canaries named after? Also the island? Do canaries actually come from anywhere?
They're created in labs.
Yeah,
To detect mines.
I gotta
isn't
talk
it?
to my. I got some orphans on it right now. They'll let me know.
What? That's harsh.
Okay.
Nothing suspicious about that.
Cute little birds. Okay.
I'll burn your feet.
Okay.
It's a finch. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, no,
started-
they're from parents.
We started at 10 Central Time, right?
No, 8 Central.
Eight,
Some sort of
sorry.
time. I think it was
Yes,
8.
that's 9.
Yeah, it was 8.
That's 9 real time.
Mhm.
Well,
Here, pardon me while I go listen to some gunshots outside my door. I'll be right back.
Oh. Okay, be safe.
And this is
Almost towards
Texas.
you.
It's probably
Country
just
music
somebody
really
celebrating
changed.
normal.
Probably. Well,
Yeah, it's
gotta
probably a
put some-
quinceañera / baby shower.
You made me stop to laugh at that. And now I have to go see again.
It's a boy.
Yay.
Oh boy.
That was good. That was really good.
That's
What do you say today, pals? What are we gonna do?
You know, I knew somebody with a voice like that.
Yeah.
I
What
never
happened
wanted
to
to ask him how. Yeah, I don't know. He was a lawyer. So I mean, that cracked me up. I was like, "You're a lawyer, huh? That means he has to talk to the judge every day like that."
Wait, are you
That's a
my
true story.
Did he ask him?
Oh yeah, I'm going to defend you.
I'll defend you, pal. And then when he asked the judge if he knew which shape was the circle, that's right.
The gloves don't fit.
That's horrible. Oh. This is not about Chuck at all.
Judge, he came from a bad neighborhood.
Whatever
I
happened.
much
Okay.
about the movie he's making.
Whatever's happening out there, it's irregular shots of gunfire, so it's not somebody plinking. And it's pretty close to my house, so I guess I better find out who's trying to shoot at something in the middle of the night. I'm probably going to be off of the air for just a minute, but I'm not dead. I'm just making sure my people are all okay. I'll talk to you in a minute. Love you.
Okay, do let us know when you're safe.
I will. See you later.
Die.
Oh my goodness.
I did not want to follow that up with yet when she said she's not dead. I'm like, oh boy,
She ditched us.
that would be poor timing, and I can't believe I even said it.
Yeah, she said, "You guys ain't talking about Chuck. I ain't coming.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done."
We're kind of talking about a Chuck roast earlier a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll be
How
back
about
in a
that,
minute, guys.
Robin? You're one.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab a cup of coffee myself.
That sounds much safer than.
I did read The Horseman.
Was it any good?
It's kind of like a it's like a movie that Jason Statham would be in. Like it's not like, oh, he's in the
Okay.
all right.
I wear a fetish mask and shoot people.
There's like a lane here.
You're not a cop. You're a working man. That's right. Let's play.
I'm a furry, and I want revenge.
All right, I'll be right back, guys.
I'm a furry.
My name's Robert
You're all
Horseman.
dropping like
Attorney at
flies.
law.
My coffee's already made. I just got to reload.
I mean, technically, Batman's a furry, right?
Yep.
That's true.
Sure,
Yeah.
bats
I
are
agree with
animals,
that.
Flying mouth.
but Robin isn't.
Little
He's a
orphan
feathery.
amphetamine. Good job, Doug.
Just saw that.
I'm assuming you were talking about Annie somehow.
Well,
Um,
one of the girls talked about doing some good orphan work, so just kind of went off from there.
yeah, we're talking about Dixon was apparently writing on a series that took some public domain characters like Airboy or something like that.
Yeah.
And then just the idea of having certain works falling into and out of kind of a its fair use would be programming.
Yeah.
But
I liked his
in
Airboy
terms of like
stuff.
distribution, yeah. In like software development, if a developer doesn't distribute their work anymore, it falls into orphaned works, and those can be distributed anyway. It's just interesting how different things have different rules where that's concerned.
Well, sure. And the reason why you're seeing a lot of these live action of Disney stuff is so they can keep the rights. And doing a live action movie should be cheaper than doing an animated movie, but they seem to have forgotten that somehow.
Right.
Well, I mean, they had to pay 400 years of royalties to those Grimm's brothers because they worked on the movie. They're
True.
credited as writers.
They are. That is true.
That's like,
Yeah.
what? It's like, well, I guess we never saw their bodies. So
You know what I was going to mention was if anyone's been paying attention to all the Ghibli memes.
I love them.
Oh yeah.
I love that. That is so nice.
Mhm.
Because I mean, all you have to do is take any photo you like and just put the filter on. Boom, you're done. It's great.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you might have a good chance of finding
Alright, I'll be
something
back.
cute on the internet today.
Oh, there you go. You know, I should
Ooh, I'll be
Ghibli
back.
myself.
Yeah, go for it. See how it comes out.
Just
I
don't
wonder
do it
what
live.
your own
on
What am I
Friday.
saying?
Road.
Ghibli?
It's Ghibli.
Autoerotic
Djibouti.
is-
Djibouti.
Uh-oh.
Djibouti.
Is it?
Djibouti?
Hmm.
Djibouti.
Djibouti. Yeah, Ghibli.
Ghibli. Not Ghibli?
No. And to be fair,
Rosa
most
stepped out to go shoot at a skinwalker.
that's nice. You gotta keep them in line. But actually, most Japanese just say Miyazaki. They don't even
Yeah,
mention
I think
Ghibli very much.
Miyazaki.
Yeah. Although
A
technically
director who
there
did
are
Wonder
other
Woman.
people that work there, but you know.
Hmm.
Yeah. But I
All of them are
did.
trying to be
I did see
Miyazaki.
all those memes, and they're great. It's kind of funny of all the
They're
the
nonstop.
well, dude, they were non-stopping JD Vance there for a while, but it's funny that the one that won was the long-haired, big, fat face version. That's the one that clearly won.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah. So you know, but hey, you know, it's the internet.
Yeah, who can understand it?
But it is cool how good they look, though. They do look so good.
That was impressive.
Yeah. Doug is angsting again. He says,
What?
anime is taking over. At least I know I'll be on the right side of history. Fair enough. And although
But
we're
we're not
not
doing anime,
we're not
Countdown.
doing anime today.
No, you're okay.
You're safe for
You'll
now.
make it, Doug. You'll
Doing
make it.
Dicks out for Dixon.
We are doing Dicks Out for Dixon, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That was actually one of the few good contributions Ethan Van Sciver gave to us. Was that?
That's right.
That was definitely
that.
Ethan's thing.
I
Yeah.
read that. That was Ethan.
It was Ethan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Dicks Out for Dixon.
Oh.
Because Chuck had gotten fired, and of course everyone was fired up about it because it's ridiculous why he was fired, and of course everyone instantly supported Chuck, and he came over and he had a lot of love and a lot of interaction, of course, which I already mentioned, and he's going on and finding success again. So you know, good for him, dude.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I was telling him that I did buy the Horseman, and I actually liked it. It was like adjacency. Read another one.
You talk about the beekeeper?
No, he's got a comic book called The Horseman that he did.
Keeper.
Oh, I see.
Click
It was actually
Yeah,
actually
dude.
pretty entertaining.
There's so many things. Thundera says no, that was actually his idea. All right, fair enough. I mean, he was Ethan's main moderator. Let me go take a look here.
Those guys.
Let me go take a look here at that bibliography again. So let's see what we got. Let's go through it in more detail. Iron Ghost. I don't know this one, but I do think it's British. Of course, he did a whole bunch of Airboy with more than one company. And I did like his Airboy stuff. I'm pretty sure what I saw was from, was it Antarctic? It might have been Antarctic and not Eclipse.
He did a crowdfunder for like a new one a couple years ago.
He did. But I remember seeing it back in the 80s. I remember seeing, so it must have been Eclipse. I remember seeing it.
That's how he got into Marvel and DC and all that, because
Right.
they went and snatched up all the people at Eclipse because they were taken over.
Well, they also were doing a lot of as the girls had mentioned, a lot of that stuff that was in public domain, right? Like Black Terror sitting here. And you had that, what was the name of that comic book series that came out that was basically taking a lot of those old those old characters and put them in their
Big Bang
own
Comics?
Yeah, no, what was the name of the comic though?
Wasn't it Big Bang Comics under the Image publication, I thought?
No, that
Are you
wasn't the
talking
name
about
of the comic. The name of the comic though. I don't
Image
remember.
did like a fake Golden Age universe that didn't last.
It went for a while. I know that Ross did a lot of art for them.
Oh, Astro City?
Astro City. Thank you very much. There you go.
Yeah, Kurt Busiek, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was good stuff. But this is a little bit nostalgic of that. I wonder if Chuck actually worked on any of those projects.
Well, I have no idea. I
Makes
never,
me
you
so.
know, Earth music's a guy I didn't get into much.
I loved Astro City, dude. I loved it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a big fan. But of course,
So
Ross
mixed up
is
with
my
the
favorite
City
artist.
Hero.
Right.
Right.
Bob Ross.
Jeez, that's kind of
Happy Tree.
hurtful.
No, Alex,
Those
but
are
I love Bob
happy
too.
trees.
Happy trees.
You know, the thing
They're
is,
so happy.
I had no idea he
You were
did so
on the
many
break.
Simpson comics. He did a lot of Simpson comics, dude.
Not Bob Ross.
I didn't
No,
know
no, no.
that.
That's
That's
cool.
that's information to me.
That's a specific
Yeah,
style to be able to do.
yeah. He did a
Oh,
lot
but
of that Eclipse
again,
stuff. Yeah.
writing, not art.
The Way of the Rat, a
It's
martial
like
art
him
book.
and Mike Grell were the two big breakouts of that, I think.
Yeah. Now I remember Sigil. I remember this one, and that is coming out of Crossgen. Of course, his Evangeline stuff was early stuff from him, and he did a 12 book run on that. He did General Grievous run. He did Superman Tarzan, Sons of the Jungle. Of course, Transformers and G.I. Joe stuff. And let's take a look at his DC stuff because it's ridiculous.
It's Batman, 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 Batman.
There's a
The
lot of
entire
Batman.
Batman.
Bane, Batman, Batman, Batman.
Robin
Fair.
That's
Airwood.
not real long from Bat. Because I
I
grew up
mean,
in the '90s,
yeah.
so
Yeah, it's
Chuck Dixon
all
Batman all
it's
day.
yeah, it's mostly Batman related. Yeah.
Batman and Batman and
Well,
Jason.
it's it's the Batman universe, right?
Sure.
There is one now as we're doing Chuck tonight with Bane being, you know, one of the highlighted parts of his character's creation.
Right.
He co-created that with Graham Nolan, and one of my favorite Superman stories that Graham was the actual writer on and Chuck worked alongside him was Superman the Odyssey. Has anybody read that?
No.
Mm-mm.
That is a great one-shot book. You can find it cheap, probably $5-10, maybe 15, I'm not sure. But it's about Clark when he goes out on a journey, and there's a great scene where the two cross each other before either one of them are become Batman or Superman, and they just get this feeling from each other as they pass, and the timing, the pacing, everything. It's just so good.
I feel like I'm gonna run into this guy again sometime.
Yeah. Well, he's a good writer.
And you know what, Chester? You keep when you go down on that DC list that you keep scrolling on, towards the bottom, you'll see Superman the Odyssey on there.
Yeah, I saw it. I went and
Okay.
showed it to the viewers. Of course, over at Marvel, he did, like I said, Conan stuff, and he did a Hawkeye run. My one that I read all of was the Mark Spector run for Moon Knight. I like that one a lot. He did, of course, a bunch of Punisher stuff, a whole bunch of Punisher stuff. So, you know, he did some what ifs as well.
Conan sucked.
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, there is no Conan outside of Dark Horse as far as I'm concerned.
Dark Horse is terrible. It's the
Dude.
new stuff that's great.
No,
The
dude,
new is
Dark Horse
amazing.
Conan
Titan
was
series.
epic, dude. It was epic.
Go pick up
I'm
Savage Son of
collecting the
Conan number
Titan one.
7. Best comic in probably 30 years.
Okay.
On stands now.
You really didn't like the Dark Horse run, dude. It was so good.
Yeah, when it started with Tim Truman and all that, it was great. And then it just kind of petered out with terrible artwork that was so bad they lost the license.
I guess it did kind of fall off. Yeah, that is true. But I just love the way they portrayed it because, you know, it's basically it's telling the Conan story from a narrative, right? Because
Yeah, they did like young Conan. They kind of went silly with it.
yeah, but what was the main bad guy there? Basically, was in Egypt. What's his name?
Ooh, was the Egyptologist?
It's not Thulsa Doom. It's the other one. The big baddie. Can't never remember his
Set
name.
or something.
Oh, he's yeah. But I mean that guy. He's basically serving as a vizier to a young prince, and they're traveling across, going to their an event where in the city his father is, and he feels like his father doesn't respect him. It's all that kind of conversation going on, and they come into a cave, an ancient cave that has all of these imagery and stuff of Conan the king. And the vizier, of course, the bad guy who's still around, is telling the story of his great nemesis. Even though the boy doesn't know really who the vizier is. That's the premise, and I just thought it was great.
That's probably the Tim Truman run. That was good.
Well, that was issue 1, dude. Issue 1.
Yeah,
I really
they had
liked
it for a lot of years, and then
They
it
did.
just at the end it got so bad that
That's fair.
the rights owners were like, "No, we're we're taking it back." And then it went back to Marvel, and that was just the
They don't
worst.
stay with them.
Yeah, that wasn't good. Although I hear the new stuff that's coming out is pretty good. I've heard good
Marvel.
stuff about it.
Well, the new was it Titan or
Yeah, I'm
Titan.
liking it.
Well,
Epic, whatever.
Yeah.
That's
Well-
amazing stuff.
what Titan did with Elric and Melonbone was amazing. The Moorcock stuff.
Mhm.
They did a great job with that. That's for sure. He actually did Phantom, dude. I didn't even know
Goes
that.
too well.
I mean, DC's Phantom, right?
Hmm.
The Ghost Who Walks Phantom,
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
Billy Zane Phantom.
yes, that one. Yeah, that movie didn't get the love it deserved, man.
Bad timing.
Andrew Lloyd Webber's Batman.
Andrew Lloyd
No,
Lloyd Webber.
no, not that one.
You
Lloyd
owe
Webber?
Webber
Sir
money.
Lloyd Webber.
Wow, he did some Midnighter stuff with Wildstorm too. I didn't know that. Snakes on a Plane. Wow.
Wow.
I don't know how good that was. And
Hey,
of
I
course,
liked it.
he did the Wheel of Time comic adaptation. Of course, The Hobbit as well. But boy, talk about ruined. They finally came out with the Wheel of Time, which is a good series, and boy, did they girl power the hell out of that, dude. They ruined that. It's a shame.
That's why they wait till the authors die.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Did someone say how come? Because they want to destroy.
That's their entire plan, huh?
It is.
They have
No, it
no
is. It's
intent.
their whole plan. Yeah.
Maybe if they can destroy everything that was good, they'll feel better about themselves in comparison.
No, they won't.
No, they'll never
Well,
be
Maybe they
happy.
think
They
they
can
will.
like, look what I made.
Well, I mean,
No,
look
you
look at the
Ego,
majority of things
control.
that have been destroyed. Look at the majority of everything they've destroyed. It's all things that
Mhm.
men like, right?
it's heroic men. It's heroic men who do heroic things to stop bad people from taking over the world.
Right.
So they have to go in and destroy anything that inspires a human being, especially a male human being, to rise up and be the he's supposed
That's
to
right.
be. And
That's right.
destroy it in front of you, then you get depressed, walk away. Meanwhile, your kids grow up thinking that Poison Ivy is the hero while Batman is somehow a bad dude. And this is the reason why we have people going off on a fentanyl dealer getting mocked, saying, "Oh, this is horrible." You know what? When they laid my nephew in the ground, nobody shed a tear over there for them. They didn't
no.
talk about the fact that poisoned my people and went after him every time he got clean until he finally died. Where was their compassion then? Nowhere. You know why? Because they've been taught that they have to be a villain in order to be cool, and that somehow good guys are going to be bad. So what you do is you go out and you create every hero you possibly can. You shove it in their face every time you can, and you tell them that your sons are going to grow up to be the kind of men that they hate, which is a man that's going to come after them if they poison their people. Because
Right.
that's
Well,
you know what?
This is
they're
why
melting.
Doug hates anime.
That's
Our
why Doug
culture
hates
Bam.
is there
anime.
right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Our
true.
Because
No,
it's
I'm
what
there.
anime is. Emasculation of human beings.
Yes.
well, it's not working. You guys are still here. You're still making the content. You're still showing them how it's done. They can't shut us up, and they're not going to win.
No, they've already lost. It's already melting.
Yeah,
But
they've lost.
the damage has been done, though.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
But no, it's pushing back, and eventually European leadership will be either coerced into or beaten into doing the right thing.
There has to be
Not
something.
historically.
Well,
Revolution.
it's,
I think tells me there could be a lot into.
well, I mean, if we look at history, it's kind of the way it always goes,
Mhm.
right?
Right now, we are in the period where weak men produce hard times.
Yep.
And we are starting to pull out of it, and they're not going to like the outcome of it.
No, it always swings back too far the other way, doesn't it?
Always does.
Yeah.
But you know what? That is the net result of wanting everybody to be slave to a nanny, slave
Mhm.
to no free will, slave to no free thought, free thinking of any kind.
Yeah.
So it's coming, and it's going to be ugly. Really.
It will be. No, we're already seeing signs of it. Blue Moon says in anime, uh, everybody, even the men, look like women, and the women look like
Yep.
children. Okay, so it's the
It
artistic
is
style.
the connecting factor in all this like tranny stuff going on.
You think
Yep.
anime?
And yeah. Just trace it back. It's like, yep, 20 years later, everybody wants to be a girl.
Well,
Imagine that.
I guess you'll have to tell the Japanese that because they wouldn't have that opinion at all.
I don't think it's so much that. I think it's the and I don't know if it's just what they've done in the storytelling that they brought to the States, because I've been subject to Pokemon alone, and I never found anything more nauseating than just meeting somebody and all of a sudden, oh, hey, we're all best friends. Let's go eat berries and have ramen. I want to
Oh,
throw up.
okay.
I'm just it's like
That is a trope. That is true.
it is
It is
disgusting.
the girl thing. Yeah, the girl thing. Yeah.
Oh,
But
Very
you
And
do
it's funny
you
'cause
do.
in real life they hate each other.
Yeah, it's weird.
Erica?
You do got to keep in mind though, the Japanese are actually quite conservative.
right. So that's where I don't understand this type of storytelling, because no normal human interaction is this way. Oh, hey, I know we just met. Let's be best friends and go eat noodles. No one does that. Nobody.
Well, Americans do that all the time.
Well,
Mhm.
I'm usually with people that are like nice, maybe. I don't know. I
Well,
just
Americans are super friendly, you know, compared to the rest of the world.
really.
Sure, we
Like,
make
Wow.
friends in like 2 seconds.
No reason to dislike you, so we're
Matter of
friends
fact, the fact that we're so friendly and so quick to make friends, the Europeans think we're very sus.
well,
No, they
good.
complain about it all the time. They'll actually say, "You Americans, you are too friendly. I do not trust you." That's what they say.
now. Know you for a
Ooh,
while.
spoil.
Yeah. You know, the funny thing is, if you look for another culture on the planet that's as friendly as we are and gets along so well like we do, you might be shocked that the name of that country is Russia. Right?
Really?
No, because
Really?
we've all been programmed, you know, and Eric and Jeff and Rosa and I especially, because we come from Cold War era, we have been programmed to think that when in Russia the bear eats you, you know, that kind of thinking.
Well, that's just
Chewing glass and these ultra stoic, emotionless robots of the Russians, and that's not even
I saw
close.
Rocky 4.
I was
Yeah,
just gonna say Ivan
exactly.
Drago.
Exactly. But that's not even close to the truth. The Russians are very friendly people. They love singing and dancing. They're very colorful. It's not at all what they're like. It's just the propaganda from the Cold War that still lingers. But they're very, very much like us. That's why I've said in the past, and I will continue saying it, there's no reason in the world that the Americans and Russians shouldn't be best friends. We should be.
Well, I think if anything, what with the people being able to reach across borders through social media,
oh yeah.
it's not the people of any country in particular that's the problem. It's their leaders.
Always, it's the
always.
governments. Yeah, it's always the governments. Yeah, for sure.
It's the leaders. They how many times do they put our own people or their own people, vice versa?
Even the French, though?
Well,
I don't know.
okay.
You know, when we do eventually take Canada, is Kima here? Okay, good.
Yeah.
When we do eventually take Canada, I do think we're going to have to take all the Quebecois and translate them back home. I really
can have
think,
them.
especially East Quebec, because the Easterners in Quebec, those Eastern Quebecois, they are hateful. They hate you. Just because you speak English, they hate you. I'm not
That's
joking.
not good.
And the Bloc are the
Wow.
ones who rule Quebec. And I'm not going to get in it because I'll go on a rant. But if we do end up getting that area, or somehow it kind of little by little falls into us, which is probably what's going to happen. Quebec, we need to do the same thing we're doing with all the immigrants in America. Just put them all on a plane or a boat, a slow boat,
Mhm.
and send them over
Defense.
to France.
China.
What would China
China.
Well,
do?
no, because they might actually help the Chinese, and we want the Chinese to collapse. We don't want to do that.
True. Yeah.
But
I can't get any more wine.
because they're nasty. You guys don't even know. Well, maybe you do. Some of you live up toward the border. You might understand the Quebecois. But I grew up in New England. They're awful.
Wow.
They are
So
like
sad.
parasites. I mean, because I like, for instance, Rosa, you're down in Texas. I've met a bunch of Mexicans in my life. They're pretty nice people. I got no trouble
They're
with
awesome.
Mexicans at all. But
Awesome.
and most Canadians,
They're
but the
the best.
Quebecois, they go straight to hell.
Oh my gosh, they hurt you.
Yeah, I kind of agree with him. Yeah, my company does business in Canada. It'd be fine if it wasn't for them.
Yeah, they're the problem. They are the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the other Canadians are great.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the Indians.
Oh, they're lovely people.
I think they prefer to be called Inuit.
And they
Is
got
that a
in.
specific tribe?
But then again, Eskimo is much cooler because they have the nose kiss, but they don't like it.
That's
I heard my name. Maple Sheik showed up. Uh oh.
what?
Kima?
Well,
Kima!
he's Canadian. It's not Kima.
Oh,
It's Maple Sheik.
Oh no.
But he's Canadian
Tina
as well.
said she might not be back for a while. She's got to get another job.
Yeah, we got to start
Yeah.
praying for her. We need to start.
oh,
She's got financial things going on.
Oh, they all
if they're-
do. They're getting hammered. But keep in
Absolutely.
mind, it was going on before Trump did any of his stuff. He's
Mhm.
Yeah.
accelerating it. Of course, another thing people aren't talking about at all is the Chinese just threw 100% tariff on them as well, much worse than we did.
Mhm.
Right? They're getting
On
hammered
Canada?
from all. Yes. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. So either Trump is working some deal with Xi Jinping, or the Chinese. I think it's but then again, the Chinese have been banging on the Canadians for a long time. They don't like each other.
That's
Matter of fact, the
Hmm.
Chinese just executed 4 Canadian citizens just last week.
Oh,
What?
know that.
Yeah, they've done it many times. They capture Canadians who are in China, and they say you're a spy, and it's not like Canada's famous for their spies,
It's-
Yeah.
oh,
They're looking for
no.
secrets for the maple syrup.
Yes,
What
right.
about James Maple?
Yeah, but the Chinese government hates the
been
Canadians
wearing
more
their
than they
spy
hate
shirt.
us.
How
For some
about
reason.
syrup?
I don't know the entire reasons. I haven't studied it, but something is going on deeper there than just basic politics.
Wow.
That's no.
That's a shame.
It is a shame. And of course, the Chinese government's also used the cartels in China, which they usually call them snakehead or things like that, but mafia types. They've been using them to absolutely abuse Canada. They've taken almost full control of British Columbia, and they have a lot of control over a large chunk of the politicians in Canada, which I think is probably one of the big reasons. Trump just hadn't said it. He's kind of hinted at it, but I think that's one of the big reasons he's really banging on them is because the
Yeah.
corruption in their
Oh.
government.
It's kind of like you might
Exercise.
want to.
Starting from
Yeah.
2016, I believe, onward to 2019, there were winter exercises in China that, in Canada and Ontario, just across the lake.
Yeah.
Were quite extensive,
Yeah.
and it was complained about by Canadian citizens. And I'm so torn because, and this is me hoping it won't hurt anybody. I have Chinese friends. They're from China, and I won't say who, where,
Oh, sure.
but it love them, and it's so tough for them too. There's so many people kind of there. The largest Christian nation in the world isn't America; it's China, as far as number of people. And
Yeah, but Rosa, they burn down Chinese Christian churches every day.
That's what I'm saying. These Chinese people suffer, and it's important to remember them as human beings as well. But there is a terrible thing going on in China, and it's not only do they suffer under their own government, but people around the world suffer under that government.
Oh yeah,
And,
no, the CCP is evil. Yeah, straight up. But it also falls in the same thing with Islam. I mean, for 1,000 years, they brought nothing but terror and pain to the world. And the Muslims, there's a lot of them are just normal people, but the Muslims have never stood up and stopped it.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
At some point.
Yeah.
They support it.
Yeah.
It's the only culture that never had an enlightenment.
No,
Weird,
and they
right?
desperately need one because the Christians were the Catholics, particularly the bureaucracy of the Catholics, were quite awful. But they had a Reformation, a bloody one, and it changed, right? But Islam is a real terror. The Chinese people are in the same situation. Their government is out of control. It's abusing them to incredible degrees. They got to stand up. They need to stand up. It's that simple.
They do.
Yeah.
There's so little left to lose now.
I mean,
That's all
luckily,
these countries, though.
yeah, yeah. Well, like in America, it didn't come to that level of violence necessary, but Americans had to stand up. Eventually, the burden was enough; they had to stand up, and they did.
Yep.
Luckily, we could do it at the ballot box. Well, we were pretty close to Civil War, I think, dude.
We've had Civil War.
We have.
Yeah.
We've had a Revolutionary War. It's like that's what these other countries need, and they've never had it. It's like if you want to stop the border crisis, like sell those people some guns and say, "Here you go, fix your problems, fix your country."
Yep. No, the Europeans definitely need to stand up. They've been being abused for quite a while. Yeah. But yeah, there are a lot of places, and then we have some places that are starting to make some real good progress, like India. But they also have a lot of horrible things in India as well. But they are making progress. They're starting to move forward.
There you go.
Yeah, but the problem they have is peppered all across India. Because keep in mind, when the Islamic conquering phase, they went all the way through India into Bangladesh, down into Indonesia, and as far as Philippines. And of course, all those regions are still suffering from it. The Indians have taken back their sovereignty, but yet there's peppered all across India Muslims, and they do bad things. And they give the Indians a bad name because when you hear all these stories of people being abused, sexually abused, all that stuff coming out of India, if you go and look at it, I guarantee you 99% of it are Muslims doing it, not Hindi. Right? And and people yelled and screamed at the Burmese for attacking these refugees floods coming in from Bangladesh, and like, oh, it's inhuman and all that kind of. They just all typical media crap. And of course, yeah, but these Muslims coming in instantly were abusing women, were attacking people, stealing, murdering instantly. They're supposed to be refugees, right? And of course, the Burmese weren't going to have none of it, even though they were in midst of this absolute collapse of their entire structure. They fought back and pushed them out, and of course, the whole world said genocide.
They actually tried to protect their women and children.
They did, yeah.
It doesn't seem so outrageous.
If it actually lasted a little bit, if they weren't so quickly successful with it, and it lasted a little bit longer, it might well have unified them, and we wouldn't have the situation we have today.
Yeah. But they're big cowards, so of course they went as soon as anybody stood up to them.
Oh, of course. Yeah. No, that you never see anyone whinge and whine more than a Muslim. No, they do. They know the game, and they'll play it against you and laugh at you while you lose. Because keep in mind, if you've ever read the Quran and the Hadith, you would understand that it tells them right in there, we have all these laws, but you can break all of them if it is in the action of breaking or destroying the infidel. So they are not supposed to drink, but they can drink if it is in the purpose of getting the infidel, et cetera, et cetera. Any kind of evil thing you think. That's why they do so many bad things, because they're allowed to do it to the infidel. It's why you don't hear them about them doing all kind of murderous and horrible sexual stuff to their women. Actually, Muslim women are incredibly well protected. It's if you're not a Muslim, they do whatever they want to you because their book says they can. That's the problem.
Because Muhammad said you can, and what
Well,
does
it's
he do?
because you're not human. It doesn't matter.
You're not human. But it's not even the hadith. You're mentioning Muhammad. It's not even the hadiths. It's in the Quran itself. Right? And so what are you going to do? Right? But anyway, yeah, we know it's an issue. But the West needs to wake up. Thank you.
Alan, just copy the arm to the other side.
Cool. All right. So I'm going to go over here and how is Eskimo racist? I don't think it is. Eskimo's Eskimo.
No, they believe it's racist now. Well,
no.
Eskimos probably really don't.
Well, no.
It's the white Americans down here that think it's racist. They don't want you to say Eskimo anymore.
Maple Sheik can correct me, but I believe that those who are from like West Canada are called Eskimos, and the ones to the east are the Inuit. I think they're actually two separate groups. Okay, I will shut up.
Supposedly, Eskimo is a colonizer name.
Is it? I don't know. Maybe Maple Sheik
That's
can.
what they're saying.
Maybe it is. Well, it's like you're not supposed to say Oriental, and I'm like, the whole world uses the word Oriental. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's only an American thing, only in America, right? I mean, how are you? Well, how are you supposed to distinguish? Asia is a pretty big place with a bunch of different racial groups in it, right? So how do you differentiate what we would call the Mongoloid? Because you don't want to say that all the time. That's boring. So we say Oriental, right? That signifies the Mongoloid people, right? Because you can't say Asia. Well, I mean, shit, Indians are Asian and Muslims are Asian as well. So Russians are freaking Asian. What was that?
That's what I said. Russians are Asian.
Yeah, they're Asian. So we use Oriental for a reason. Anyway, I need to go look at the art. I'm going to do it. Jeff, you want to come with me? I'm looking at Amy first. She's coloring and she's cheating as usual, but it's Amy.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm assuming this is Lady J. Yeah. Fuel. Yeah, this is good. Yeah. No, Lady J is cool. I like Lady J. I always like that character.
A lot of fun.
Well, I think for young men, you're either a Lady J fan or you're a Scarlet fan, and they're quite different.
Fairness guy.
All right, fine. I think I'll be outvoted by that, but I always like Lady J.
CoverGirl was pretty good too. She used to be an actual model.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. CoverGirl, yeah.
Is she like a spy?
Well, it's
my favorite was
Joe.
the
She drove a tank.
She drove a tank. Yeah, G.I. Joe, greatest American hero. G.I. Joe. But anyway.
Oh, that does look like her with the javelin.
Yeah.
Pretty wild. It looks like she's pretty consistently drawn with this. I'm like, oh, that's kind of a fun accessory to
Oh, that's
have.
right. He wrote G.I. Joe. I can't believe who's not here. Jadi.
He was.
He was here,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, he kept
But
roboting real bad.
he was having serious mic issues, or not mic issues, computer issues. But I kind of imagine that JD's on a potato. I can't imagine he's on anything that's not a potato. Am I right
With
or
some
wrong?
copper wires in it.
Probably a leapfrog or something.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Maple Chic says that the Canadian Football League team, the Edmonton Eskimos, changed their name to the Elks because Eskimos is racist. All right, fine. But anyway, I like it. It looks really good. What do you think, Jeff, of her Lady J?
It looks pretty good.
Yeah, I like it. Nice.
Don't go back and finish the colors because I just started that.
That's okay. We'll take a look at the colors. She's a bit dark, though.
She is, but I'm probably going to go in and add some highlights.
Oh, you'll
so.
shade it out. I see.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I remember she was kind of overly white girl.
She's she does have a well, this picture I have, it's kind of like in the dark. She is definitely pink. So it might be good to find some other references for, but like against a dark blue background, that might just be kind of why it looks a little darker than usual, but
It doesn't matter.
yeah,
It's
I
fine.
don't know how much
Um,
highlighting I'm gonna do, so
Looks good though. I like it. Although
yeah.
sitting next to a fuel barrel, as we all know, will get you blown up.
And
You should
smoking a
probably not be
cigarette.
hanging out near
Yep.
those.
Because when you're playing your game, you either kite them or you barrel them,
Mhm.
right?
That's right.
You put
Well,
her right there.
maybe that one's empty.
You
Yeah,
know,
but
At
see,
least it's where
Chester,
you were
what
both
you're
pink.
missing out on is that this girl lives dangerously. That's attractive to a lot of guys.
that's fair.
Okay.
That is fair. That's fair.
Especially
Yeah.
to
That's fair.
See.
Flint.
Hey, you older guys here that went to the arcade when we were kids, there was a game where you were playing. You had like this ship. It's not Galaga, but you had this ship, and you're moving over the terrain. It's going from bottom to top. It's moving. The screen is moving, and you're shooting all these bubbles and all these ships and everything like that. It was a
Yes.
really popular arcade game. Do you remember that?
What is it?
Zaxxon.
No, it's not that. It's not Galaga either. It was much more
A
fancy
spaceship
looking. No, you're all
Fancy.
going over the land actually.
Yeah, you're going over land. There was
1942?
stuff.
No, that was cool too. Same kind
or
of game.
I think I know what
Afterburner?
you're talking about, but I have no idea what the name is.
No, but anyway, that kind of game.
You remember Afterburner?
Afterburner,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's not that. But anyway,
Afterburner was the real life background, right? Where you're in the F-16.
right. This
Yeah,
was
it
like
was
a
real life. There
drawn because you're top down, right? You're looking from
Yeah.
above down, right? But anyway, that kind of game. There was a GI Joe game that came out. I don't know. My kid was still young, so it's got to be at least a decade or more. But there was a GI Joe game that came out that was like that, right? And it was a lot of fun. I remember playing it with my kid. We had a good time because you could play up
Was
to
it in the
4
arcade
people on
though?
that. What was that?
Was it in the arcade at that
No,
time, or
it's PlayStation game.
a PlayStation game? Okay.
But
Oh,
you could
PlayStation.
play up to 4 players because at that I don't remember which PlayStation that
Nice.
was, but you could have more than 2 controllers at that time. PlayStation 3 or 4 maybe? I
Okay, I'll
don't
get
have
some.
any of the games because my son and daughter took every console related thing out of the house and they now dwell with them.
You could have 4 players
Okay.
with a PlayStation 2.
Could you? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
you
had
could have the
multi-cam.
adapter
Yes, too. You
Yeah.
that
can.
plugged
It
in to plug
wasn't
in more
though.
controllers. Yeah.
This was later though. Because it was a pretty good looking game. I just can't remember the name of it, but it was that
Solid
kind of
Kids
game,
3.
like an upward scrolling game instead of a side scroller. Anyway,
Hmm.
if you
Zero?
look,
Was that a game?
what was it?
F-Zero? Do you recognize that name?
That's Super
Mm,
Nintendo. F-Zero's a Nintendo property.
Yeah, no, he's still going on the
Uh,
arcade one. I know when it said it, if we find it, everyone's going, oh, that one, because it was a big hit.
Yeah.
It was later
yeah.
though. It was like in the late '80s. It wasn't, and of course in the early '80s we had Dragon's Lair, which was a big smash hit, right?
Spy Hunter.
No,
My Hunter was badass.
yeah, it was though.
Spy Hunter's like the greatest game ever.
My favorite arcade game was Tempest though. But anyway, moving on,
I like
Jeffrey.
Joust.
Oh, with the ball.
Oh, dude, Tempest was so awesome.
Yeah, I love
I thought I
Tempest.
was the only one that ever played it.
It had the ball controller, right?
It did, yeah.
Yeah.
And I sacrificed many
I
a
still have
quarter.
scars on my finger from that thing getting
Yeah.
pinched.
Yeah. I loved it though. Love that game. I was pretty
Dude, it
good
was
at it. I
like
actually had my name in at least 2 separate arcades. I had my initials on that game.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did
fancy.
too.
See, that used to be a
Ooh, I
thing
wish-
with the arcade. If you got a high score, you could get your initials in.
yeah.
Yeah.
We need
That
to
was
have
fun.
like a competition sometime, just you and me and Tempest.
Oh no,
Be
no.
there.
You're gonna lose big
Be
time.
there.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose. You'll be,
Yeah.
I probably will lose because I can't see now, so it make it
See,
harder.
so I have no problem taking advantage.
Automatic.
All right.
Automatic.
We're gonna take a
Whatever.
look at Eric, Jeff. And Eric has
Oh,
done
me.
Bane in the ring, so he's gone more comedic. But yeah, obviously where he's doing the body splash upon the Batman.
Yeah, I ran out of time. I wanted to add I was going to add the Riddler and some wrestling gear over here on the side. Without a shirt, but with like a little Riddler question marks on his trunk, a little skinny dude, like his tag team partner.
Yeah. Holding
Yeah.
the cord, and maybe him
Yeah.
in the foreground here, him coming down on Batmite.
Yeah, I just ran out of time working on Bane, so I just modify it.
He looks good though. That's Bane for damn sure.
Oh,
That's
thank
comic book Bane. What do you think, Jeff?
I think I saw this yesterday.
Oh, you mean he cheated?
Really?
Oh,
Oh,
Did
well,
Mike do
Mike
Bane
shows.
yesterday?
Yeah, that was
No,
Mike's
but everybody
show.
else did.
Oh, okay. Huh. I'll have to go back and
Wednesday,
watch.
yeah.
So Mike did Chuck Dixon too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
We did
I
Bane
didn't know that.
Bane.
We're Dixon.
Bane.
We're getting Dixon.
yeah,
that's
was my idea,
everybody's really
too.
excited about his movie.
Yeah. Ikari Warriors. Is that it? Maple Chic's pretty good about that kind of stuff. I'll have to check. Ikari Warriors. Let me go check.
Oh, that looks like an up and down Contra.
No, it's not Ikari Warriors. This was an arcade game only. And it was way better looking than this. It was kind of unique because it was so beautiful. Let me just do a quick little search
You're not
here.
thinking. You're not thinking of the Guardian Legend.
I don't know.
It was a top-down shooter?
It was. Let me see here. See if I can't find it. So let me see. All right. So
They
we
make this
have.
noise.
Was it Star Force?
No, I don't think so. No, it had a weird name.
Xenon? No, it's not. Well, it might be Xenon.
That kind of sounds like maybe that is it, actually.
Xenon.
It was a weird little game, but it was cool though.
Oh, Batsugan?
No,
That was really good.
anyway, I don't have time to do it now, but yeah.
No, you keep looking at drawings. I'll look.
Yeah. All right. So if you guys like what Eric has done, please vote for him to straw poll. Very nice. Alrighty here. Let's move on to. Ooh, we got an Elrod. Ooh, Elrod. Who's this sexy
I got
lady?
Jane Russell.
From?
It's Valkyrie, but it ended up looking like Jane.
It's Valkyrie.
From Gentleman Took the Balloons.
He actually did a bunch of lady, powerful lady things, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like not sleep with producers.
Well, I mean, Evangeline was, of course, another one, right?
Yeah.
Neat. Anything else?
Oh, yeah. Airboy.
Airboy. Yeah, I liked his take on Airboy. It was fun.
Nice.
Yeah. And then, of course, someone much more recently did Air Girl, I think it was, or something like that. And of course, it just make it a female. But actually, it was much more cyberpunky, with jets and stuff like that, like almost like an Iron Man suit, kinda. So it wasn't a straight off rip off of Airboy at all. But and it wasn't too girl powery either. It was pretty good. I remember that came out some years ago. I remember seeing that, and my brain connected it to Airboy. Very nice.
And it was actually decent.
I'm just glad Chuck didn't write Air Bud, so we all win there.
No, that wasn't it.
That's true. That's true. That formula of Lassie, they've never gotten that right since.
Yep.
Yeah. Although there was one with a German Shepherd. What was that one called? K9 or?
Rin Tin Tin.
Rin Tin Tin. Yeah, dude.
Rin
Tin Tin, and we had that stupid flipper Stupid show.
Hey.
We had Ed,
Yes,
but
fascinating.
Mr. Ed wasn't very helpful.
No.
He wasn't
No,
helpful at all. It
no.
was,
He was
kind of
a bit.
Francis talk?
Francis talked. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Ed was
My
a bit
mother, the car.
sarcastic. My mother, the car. Yeah, that's true. Love Bug, of course.
yep.
Mhm. It's a constant joke on the Munsters. I didn't even know it was a real show until my mom was like, "Yeah, it was a show."
My mother the car.
My mother,
His
the car.
mother
I don't know
dies
what I'm
and
thinking
he
of.
reincarnates as a car.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's basically
It's
Herbie.
like the Baltimore.
Poor Herbie.
It's the My White Mama.
But no, I mean, a lot of us here are old enough to remember Lassie for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah.
I confirm.
Now, I don't know why my brain is saying this, but was Rin Tin Tin on the Bozo the Clown show?
Could have been because
Probably
Rin
had
Tin Tin is like 8 years old.
Yeah.
Open this up now.
Now, for some reason, my brain is saying I watched Rin Tin Tin on the Bozo the Clown show.
What about Benji?
Ah, Benji. Oh yeah, Benji. Such an ugly dog.
I
Which
thought you.
Is not.
yeah, he was. His ugly dog. Yeah, and of course
The
we
best
have
Benji
Ben.
movie is Oh Heavenly Dog with Chevy Chase and Jane Seymour.
Oh, fair. Ben is not really. It's a horror movie. And Ben, there is communication with Ben
Horror
though.
movie.
What? And Michael Jackson sang the theme song to it.
Otis.
Otis Redding.
Why is
The
the
Milo
dog
and
always
Otis.
portrayed as like a shaggy, ugly thing?
I know, right?
In the comic,
Milo and Otis.
Pitbull.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like a pit bull breed in the comics, but then in the plays, it's always like a big, ugly, shaggy dog.
The
I don't
actors
know.
probably didn't want to work with a pit bull.
And I'm not really sure who wants to work with a pit bull. It's good. I'm not really sure if Automan falls into this category or not.
Yes, because Desi Arnaz Jr. was his canine sidekick.
That's right. That's right.
Neat.
There you go. Maple Chic says Ikari Warriors was in the arcade as well. But no, it's not Ikari Warriors. Although it did look kind of familiar. Anyway, if you like what
R-Type?
Ooh, R-Type. Ooh. R-Type. Hold on a second.
Is it hard R type?
That sounds pretty exciting typing.
No, I definitely recognize that name. No, I know this one though. But no, this is a side scroller. The one I'm talking about, you're going from it's like the
Horizontal scroller.
1944, right? It's from bottom to top scroller, right?
So it's a top-down
Jungle Hunt?
Yeah, you're
shooter?
from looking down from the top and you're moving from bottom to top. You have all these kind of energy balls that are coming at you. You have to shoot planes and kind of dodge everything. It's wicked hard. It's coming at you super fast.
Oh, like a
I sent you a
sounds
list from
familiar.
IMDb. They have 50 of the top horizontal scrollers, so you should be able to find it in there.
Did they have Chester? Is that the one that had those like there were also these large spaceships that would pop up in there as well, right? They were
Yes,
more
yes.
like
They were big. They were
like
big
a
structures.
like a silvery gray color.
Maybe, but there were definitely big ships that would come on like the boss fight.
Yes, right. Yeah.
But it was kind of unique because it was so pretty, and it was so
It was.
fast.
And it had kind of like a green landscape type of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah,
Pretty
actually the
I
landscape
pictured it,
looked
and I
pretty
cannot
good.
remember it.
Yeah, no,
Oh, man, yeah.
I love that game. That was a good game. Anyway, if you like what Elroy has done, please vote for him on the straw poll. Very nice. Let me keep moving on because I'm way behind. Jason, hi Jason.
Hello.
Bane, that's a nice looking Bane. Look at that, Jeff. He has got him a Batman.
Ooh.
Yeah. And honestly, at least physically, Bane has done the most damage to Batman than anybody. Psychologically, maybe no, but physically,
Unless
yes.
you count Robin.
Oh,
Wait, someone killed Batman. Who killed Batman when he had to bounce through time?
Well, Bane, of course, broke his back, right?
Darkseid was the one that put him through time.
Oh, that's right, Darkseid. Yeah, yep.
Yeah, Final Crisis for another one of Grant Morrison's acid trips.
Yeah. Well, it was a good way to do something with the Justice League, right?
Well, you know what? Again, he's got great ideas. It's his extracurricular activities that get in the way of a coherent story.
It's true. And of course, with that,
Like wearing pearl earrings.
the Justice League together could barely beat Darkseid, but yet you have other Superman versus Darkseid where Superman deals with them all by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It all depends on who's writing and
That's
who's
true.
the editor.
That's true. Yeah, no, Maple's trying to help me out. He says Devastators. It was late 80s, you know. It was late 80s, that's for sure. I'll have to check that, but I'm getting sidetracked here, and I'm going to have to blame someone.
It's not me. Do this one. I did the Egyptology thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely your fault.
I was.
Yeah.
I brought it up.
Okay, fine.
Shame on you.
No, that's not it.
Look at the art.
Oh yeah, art. Apologize. But this looks great. I like it. So thank you very much. If you guys like what Jason's done, please vote for him on the Shaw Poll. It's really good. That's a great Bane, dude. Let's see here now. Two Banana Mike is
right there.
There it is.
Right there.
That's funny. Are you trying to channel the Blue Moon cartoons today?
Well, that's just it. I do cartooning like him as well, not in extreme a style as he does.
Yeah.
I had a different layout that was more comic book, and I wasn't digging it. And plus, I was doing that on my computer. And like I said, I'm in between desktops right now, so I was just not pleased with where things were going. I said, forget it. I went back to the iPad. So it is what it is. And the other thing is I've been digital for a long time. I've been a pen guy for a long time, and I made the jump to brushes last year, and I just grown to hate digital inking.
Huh.
I went traditional, and I fell in love with it.
Well, there you go.
I had always been a pen guy, and then when I said, you know what, forget it, I put the money in, and I bought the Raphael brushes because the Winsor Newtons are terrible. And they're not kidding. The snap that brush gives you, the control that brush gives you, is unbelievable.
Wow. Get what you pay for once in a while.
Yep, but you got to wait for the sales too, because they do have sales, and so instead of paying $40, you pay $25.
Can I ask a question? Can
I'm
you
listening.
actually survive professionally these days doing non-digital?
No.
Yes.
So what I will do if I have a commission piece that requires commercialism, I will go ahead and do everything by hand, and then I will transfer everything into my computer and go ahead and make it digital. In fact, here, hold on one second. I'm on the screen here.
Doug. I agree. Yeah.
Give me 1 second here, Chester. I'm going to pull up a file and transfer this. Let's see, where is it? This is. All right, let me.
I love Batman in his single hand though. That is great.
Oh, I'm not Rob. There's more to come, but here's an example of what I've done. Can you see my screen right now?
I can.
Yes.
Okay, that is for a bar that wanted a balloon style animation akin to Cuphead. And they
cool.
the owner wanted me to just rip off a Cuphead character, and the town that this was going into is an art community. I go, are you crazy?
Really?
You know, like, do you know the laws of percentages? No. And and I say that kindly because he was a friend of mine, still is.
Oh, good.
So because of the personal tie, I created a character for him.
Oh, there
Aw,
you go. That's
So,
nice.
yeah. So this was for a bar.
Oh.
There you go. That's nice.
So there you
Well,
see what was originally done in a sketchbook and then transferred to digital, where I fine tune it all.
there you go.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
you
if you
can
can
do
do
it.
something,
And
you
Doug
can do something.
adds into it. He says, "I've noticed my art always turns out better when I do a doodle or a sketch on paper and then bring it into the tablet." Yeah, I guess I didn't think
Yes.
about that. You can do that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I that's why I was when you heard me last week complain about the iPad.
Mm-hmm.
It's because there's not enough real estate to work on.
Mm.
And
Exactly.
then when you zoom in and you think you have the right line weight, you don't, because you're too close in, and I cannot find the link and find that right space where I'm zoomed in enough but not in too far that I'm losing the rest of the image, and then I zoom out and everything's out of balance. It looks like crap. It's a waste of time.
That's why I suggested the
It's a
Surface
challenge.
Pro because it's quite large.
That's why I like I said, because I'm between machines, but I have a Wacom 27 QHD. So
Oh, that is
Wow.
big. Yeah, okay.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw not too long ago my daughter's still drawing on her bamboo.
Oh, sure.
Hey, you know what? I mean,
Impressed.
people love it, so
They do.
Mhm.
But anyway, this is great. I love this Bane. I love Batman particularly. It's great. So if you guys like what he's doing, please vote for him on the straw poll. Alrighty. Let's see who else do I have? I do have myself. Let's see. I did Jason. So all I have not done here, I think, is Alan, right? And how about Melissa? Did she
Yeah.
do something today?
I'm sorry. I had to forfeit. I got pulled away from the computer too long.
That's okay.
Aw.
That's all right. Whew, look at that Bane. Alan, you just said, screw it. I'm not cartooning at all. I'm just doing straight up. That's interesting.
Straight up.
Yeah, that's why it took a little longer.
Wow, that looks great, though, dude. That's really good. It's right on model.
You went OG.
He did. What is
Very
that? What's the
cool.
name of that chemical again that Bane uses?
Venom.
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 That's right.
Venom.
Yeah.
Um,
He's like the only one that doesn't get addicted to it or something.
Oh no, he's addicted.
Oh, he is
He had to-
addicted.
They
It's
had
one
to,
of his
they had a
problems.
story where he broke the addiction.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there
And
you
he got
go.
his life back on track.
No, he didn't. No, he's a bad guy. Bane's a bad guy. Yeah. He's like an orc, you see. Orcs are bad guys.
Okay.
He ate the
not gonna-
chilies grown in a crazy prison.
He did.
Chilies.
Chilies. I don't know why that I watched a documentary on the history of paprika the other day.
Paprika,
Ooh.
really?
Spicy.
I use paprika a lot.
Not really. It has a beautiful color.
It
Like
does.
it
Well,
it
it's
gets
just
everywhere though, doesn't it?
it's just dried,
It's
ground
just
up
dried red pepper.
red peppers. Yeah.
Yeah, it's smoked paprika is freaking awesome though.
Yeah.
Ah.
It'll be
Yep.
good on popcorn.
Put that some eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Paprika's good. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually have a thing here where I can do it by the spoonful.
Spoonfuls of paprika?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're going to do any kind of
Are you doing a TikTok challenge or something?
well, no. I mean, if you're doing any kind of like European, like say a goulash or a borscht or something like that, put a lot of
Yeah,
paprika in there. You'll be good.
that is true.
Mhm.
Borscht.
Bush,
Bush.
bush, bush,
Bush,
bush,
bush.
bush, bush. Anyway,
Bush, bush.
Jeff, would you like to comment on this exquisite Bane?
Exquisite.
It's exquisite.
It is.
It is exquisite.
Yeah. So if you like it, vote for it on the straw poll. Very, very
Woohoo.
good. All righty. I think that's everybody, right?
Uh-huh.
Pretty sure that's everybody.
Yeah.
So go vote,
It's
and I'll go see if there's any draw along stuff today. There probably is. Ooh, we got a lot of G.I. Joe love over here. It's nice. There's Lady J.
Yay.
Yeah, I always liked her. Anyway, draw along. Let me see here. Someone did Snow White. That was cute. A lot of Snow White stuff. Oh, the fangs. I see. I caught it. All right. All right. So today we have. Wow. Alrighty. So let's start here with Jason Gonzalez, and of course he has done. Of course, you go over here. Of course you do. All right, fine. Be like that. But he has done himself. I think this is Batman Beyond. I believe. I'll go check and see if he wrote anything with it. And I am sharing, right? Maybe no. That's okay.
No, I don't see you.
It's okay. I'll
Nope,
fix it.
that's it. Yeah.
I will fix it.
Yay!
Do it.
Alrighty, do it. Let me come over here and share before they start whining and stuff. All right. There we go. All right. There we go. Excellent. I'm pretty sure. Let me go see if he says anything in it here.
No, that's Azrael Batman.
Azrael. All right. Azrael
Isn't it?
Batman.
From Nightfall.
No,
Nightfall.
not
Yep.
That's a Batman, but it's not. I don't think that's Azrael.
Well, it
Yeah,
must.
it is.
Yeah.
I'm
So
assuming
when he
it's
got the
Doug
suit.
related. So.
I mean, it looks
It's
cool
got-
though. I do like that. Yeah.
Okay. JD has given us some offers over here. He has Bane being defeated by Venom. Okay.
Spawn.
Nice. Nice.
I think it's
Very
Spawn.
meta.
It's Spawn.
That's
Is
Spawn.
it Spawn?
Yeah.
Well, fair
Yeah, it's
enough.
Spawn.
Fair enough.
Oh yeah.
Well, he would
sure?
definitely lose that fight. That's for sure.
Oh, but Spawn didn't have a mouth, so
No, he
I
doesn't. But
think
he
it's
does have the
Venom.
clasp
Looks
and
like
the
Venom.
fabric.
no, it's Spawn's outfit.
Is it
That's
Yeah,
Spawn.
Spawn's
Spawn?
outfit.
Maybe it's Spawn Venom or Venom Spawn.
Oh, Spawn
That
Venom.
could
Hmm.
maybe.
There
Yeah,
we
might
go.
be Spawn Venom.
It might be.
McFarlane, whichever.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh.
But very good, JD. Thank you very much. You got to get your computer fixed, dude. So you come on with us, man. Yeah, get something that's not a potato. You go potato salad, you'd be better. Yeah.
Amish potato salad.
Ooh,
It's
that's
very
good.
meta because Bane is addicted to Venom, and the Venom's killing him.
There you go.
I get it. Oh, that I see. There's like entendres going on. Okay. Actually, you know,
She
Eric.
has levels.
Yeah, that's true. I do love the Jewish New York deli potato salad. It's really good.
I just like potato salad. Any potato salad.
I don't know if I've ever had a bad
I
potato
put a
salad.
lot of pickles in mine.
Oh,
yeah.
really? Like
Mhm.
not pickle juice, but just whole pickles?
No,
Relish?
like relish.
Oh, okay.
But then again, I put relish in my tuna fish as well.
I do too.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, it depends on potato salad, but I'm not really a fan, to be honest.
Well, I mean, New
A
York
potato
has a
salad?
lot of. It does have a lot of good food, but there are some things that are very New York, and one of those is the deli potato salad. It's Jewish potato salad. It really has a unique taste. It's quite good. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody. Let me go over to Twitter and let's see what Doug is doing. But let me come back over here real quick. Alrighty, very nice. And I got to find cute stuff. So okay, that doesn't look very cute. Nope. Oh, babies. A snake. Okay, what do you do? The baby is doing her best to get it. She was getting it though. Good on her, man.
That's right. Solve the problem.
Yeah, but it looks like a little racer though. I don't think it's a poisonous
Yeah.
one.
Oh, I'm sure it's not dangerous.
She's getting it. You get it, little girl. That's a badass girl, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's scared mom. I'll take care of it.
Pass. Go.
What is
Stop
happening?
it.
Yeah, you don't look cute. Oh goodness gracious.
What's going on here?
I don't know what's going on here. He's drunk he's bad drunk. Is there gunfire or something going on maybe?
It's gotta be like Godzilla
Hold
or
on a
somebody in a
second.
dinosaur costume,
Yeah,
right?
I think there was gunfire going on. Okay. Sweet.
Oh.
We got to play. We got to see it out. We got to see it out.
No, I'm good. I'm trying to be a good boy.
Oh, that one. They went cattywampus there for a second. Nice. Alrighty then. That could be our cute for the day. Let's see here.
Careful. Oh, careful.
That was a bad one, huh? Why isn't there so much? There used to be a lot of cute, fun stuff. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
probably you're in a cave, moron.
dude.
Yeah,
Right.
YouTube was made on kitty videos.
Was it?
Uh-huh.
And stuff.
I don't know, but
That's all.
she's barely keeping that piece on her there. Watch out for them goats. They can be dangerous, man.
It can be.
Of course, no one cares about that. I don't know what that is. Oh, that's nice.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Yeah, some of these people in their cosplay is awesome.
That's
She got a little
fantastic. Oh
silver
my
surfer
god.
on her shoulder.
She
That's
does,
cool.
man.
Oh,
It's
that's
cool.
so
I like it.
adorable.
Good job for you. Well, they'll to go to these big events. They'll spend half a year building their costume for their con circuits,
That's
right?
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Happy birthday, Michael
Oh,
York.
no,
The Three Musketeers, 1973. It's a good movie, by the way. Don't know. Probably shouldn't look at it. Oh, look, an asteroid.
Well, it looks like a rock.
Oh, and it's got a pyramid on it.
Is that TARDIS on it?
Yeah, that doesn't look cute. Oh God, this guy is such a loser. Just
Whoa.
abdicate and give it to your son, please.
Mm-hmm.
No, okay.
He hasn't drinking enough baby blood yet.
No, not enough. Why is it so important to you people? I'm not finding anything cute. I might have to go with the cattywampus breast girl.
I think the
Go with
Galactus costume was amazing, and it had the little bitty Galactus.
Yeah, but you're gonna get
Oh.
outvoted here.
Oh, this one's good. This one's good. You're gonna like this one.
Or geese, yeah.
Pretending to fate to see how my geese would react. They're coming to check him out. Are you all right, dude? You're the one with the food, dude.
Aw.
Are you all right? Oh, look, they're making noise even.
Yeah, when you hear it's cute, they're like all like yelling for him.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, they are. Like, are you all right, man?
Right, man? They're
And geese are
circling
eating
you.
Armor down.
The geese can be quite bad, actually. You're right. Well, that's nice. There you go. We'll go with cute animals protecting their owner. That's nice.
That's adorable.
It is. It is. Alrighty. So let me carry on and see what Doug has done. Ooh.
We'll eat our liver.
I should probably go to the latest. Ooh. Jolie Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got to go back because it hasn't come over here yet. But that's all right. So
That's it right there.
yeah, it's right here.
It was
so we got King Snake.
Oh.
I love the snake. No, the snake is badass. Look at that. It's Kung Fu guy.
The snake's like,
Yeah. That is awesome.
Is this a comic?
Bye, Dan. Definitely copyright strike.
I just enjoy the moment.
That's awesome. Thank you very much, Doug. Sweet.
Someone mentioned the pyramids.
Well, the thing, I had heard years ago that there was someone doing karaoke in Britain singing this song, and they were arrested for some kind of racism. And I always thought, oh, that can't be real. It was real.
Oh.
Britain is bad busted,
well,
dude.
it is
It's
Britain.
bad busted.
Yeah. Fast as lightning.
Well, it's a song that you're singing on karaoke on the machine, but someone, I'm assuming Asian, probably not. It's probably a white Karen, let's be honest.
No.
Walking by, heard it and was like, "That's racist. You're not Asian. You can't think about Asians." And they literally arrested the guy. No, it's ridiculous. Britain is out of control.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's no free speech at all. country.
No, it's broken, bad broken. But the people are
Speaking
gonna
of
have
free
to rise
speech,
up.
Costin's in the chat.
What do you
Hello?
say?
Speaking of free speech, Matt Costin is in the chat.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Matt. I don't
How you
see him
doing?
over here. Is he like on Discord? You mean?
Oh, he's in the YouTube chat.
No, he's in the YouTube chat.
Sweet.
Hope we can get
All
a
right.
computer that.
You need to come on a real drawing show, Matt.
Yeah. What are you doing, Matt?
This computer's been broken for a while,
I actually haven't
so.
spoken to Matt in a very long time, actually. All right. So let me go ahead and do my voting here. All right. So, well, who won the Drone Recorder Ultimate Fan Edition Chuck Dixon contest? So I have myself 8 choices. Nice. Even though I don't know if all of them are actually Drew, but that's all right. I got my choice from number 1 being Amy. I bet the Egyptians had unicorns, Lester. We give no credit to the Egyptians whatsoever. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay.
That's who built the pyramids. Unicorns.
Yeah.
Unicorns did.
I'm assuming he's referencing the story of how I said the unicorn legend came to the Europeans, and of course it was involving an ancient Egyptian king and an ancient Chinese king exchanging gifts. Anyway, I also have Melissa. I own a King Tut plushie. Fair. Dude, a lot of marketing came out of King Tut, dude. A lot.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Ton of stuff, man. There were so many TV shows and stuff about it. Anyway, Eric, I love Chuck Dixon's paper cups. I not really know what that means.
I get that. Dixie cups.
Oh yeah, Dixie cups. Yeah, that's
I think only us older ones are going to get that.
I remember Dixie cups. Dixie cups and bug juice. Yeah. Kool-Aid,
Bro, I
bug
like
juice.
bug.
But I never
love
liked the Kool-Aid. I never drank it. Anyway, number 4 here, of course, is Elrodimus. Gave E.T. a quarter to call home. Flash, that's quite nice of you. You're a humanitarian.
He's a real gent.
A real
That
gent.
quarter is called calling Border Patrol.
Border Patrol, that's right. And we got
Get him out of here.
illegal over
Get
here.
him out of here.
Get him out of here. Let's see here. Number 5, 2 banana. Ramses knows the secret of desire. Mike, fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh, that's because Ramses.
Yeah.
I still have not watched that movie, and Miller plays that clip all the time. I was never on the Jack Black bandwagon.
Oh no, my brain immediately went to the post Santorini Pharaoh Ramses.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah, sorry.
That's a secret
Well,
of
no, I'm
desire?
probably wrong, but it is what it is. What was that, Amy?
Yeah.
Does he know the secrets of desire? No?
I don't know the references being made. I was confused.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
Eric's having a laugh.
Yeah. Number 6, Alan. I bet Pharaoh didn't own the Sex Mountain a lot. Dude, I bet he did.
Yeah. Ooh.
Are there mountains in Egypt?
Very much most likely did.
Yeah.
Pyramids.
You're talking about
Camel.
old school stuff. They all had harems, dude.
Harem.
Actually, Sinai is Egyptian for desire. So.
Oh, fine. Yeah, cyanide. Very good. All right. Number 7, Jason. Egyptologists must be very smart people. Damn you, Jason.
Seems like a nice guy.
And of course, she didn't draw, but he didn't know that. RH. People usually ride Horus down here in Texas, not worship them. Snow. Why that?
I didn't even draw a picture, and I'm still here. Thank you.
Yeah, but that's painful though. That's painful. We shouldn't encourage Jeff at all. Let's not do that.
Oh, it was fun.
It's not funny. People usually ride Horus down here in Texas, not worship them. I know I can't
I
forgive you, Jeff. I shan't. Anyway, I need to vote. So let me see. What did I like? Well, I mean, today's pretty easy, really, for sure. Alan's was really, really good. I liked Amy's too. Of course, Melissa couldn't do anything. Jason's looked good as well. Two Bananas was fun. Elrod is doing as he usually does. And I liked Eric's too. So yeah, I'm going to do that. That's what I'm doing. Alan wins. Did I help?
If not, I would crush you.
Did I? Ooh, I might have helped.
You helped him.
I think I helped. I took it away from Eric. Aw.
No, Alan and I were tied.
Oh, I broke the tie because I put you high as well. That's why. Um, yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Now I liked Eric's too. But yeah, if you'd had like the foreground and the like you said, the Riddler stuff, you would have definitely won with that. But
Yeah, just
Alan's was
ran out
so
of
bang on.
time.
Yeah, no, it's tough. Yeah, I get it. You guys get caught up in certain minutia sometimes, and you'll burn like an hour. I see it happen all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I drew like 3
And
heads.
the cigarette breaks didn't help either.
Yeah, that's fair. But no, I see you guys, and you'll have times we make incredible progress, and then you get caught in this minutia of a thing, and it just sucks up your time like crazy. It is what it is. I think that's why Elrod is fast. He doesn't allow that to happen to himself.
Nope, I don't drink milk.
See?
So no ocean here.
There you go.
And a copious amount of methamphetamine.
There you go.
That's true.
Yeah,
So I keep down the LBs.
Well, you do realize that for all of you who may need this information, if you've taken too much LSD, just go ahead and take some downers, and you'll be good. Okay. Anyway,
Perfect.
yeah, just
no.
that's my public service announcement for the day.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Narcan usually fixes your
Always keep
problem
them
too.
downers around. Boys.
Yeah. But no, it'll solve your problem real quick, man. Downers will fix that LSD issue immediately. It's actually shocking how effective it is. I
Funny
wouldn't
story
know
when the
though.
horse dies.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much to Rosa, of course, and Melissa for coming in. Jason, Two Banana Mike, Elrod, Amy, and Eric, our artists, of course. Thank you very much. But Alan wins it. Alan's the winner. Claps, everybody.
Very
Very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Oh, more points came in. Oh, at the last minute, but it didn't change
Oh,
anything.
did they?
Yeah, points came in.
Oh, I got to add them in here though.
Yeah, you should.
Leave that up.
And that's fine. But awesome. Well, thank you all very much. Chuck Dixon, he's a great creator. He's done a lot of things, and of course, he's a friend of our community here. And that's all really wonderful. We've had a lot of really good artists. Some of them big names, some of them more middle level names, but they've come over and been part of our community, and it's really cool. And there's a couple assholes too, not to be mentioned. But hey, some people are just assholes, and are troublemakers. It is what it is. Nevertheless, what are we doing next week, Eric? What's going on?
We are doing ancient Egypt.
What?
No,
No.
I'm kidding. But we might do
That'll
that.
be a
Why not?
12-hour show starting at
That
8
would be awesome.
p.m. and
Oh,
ending at 8
Garbage Pail
a.m.
Kids.
We're doing Garbage Pail Kids next week.
Oh, sweet.
Don't we have an artist coming in on the 4th?
No, that's the 10th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, M Squad. Yeah,
Who do
M
we have
Squad.
coming?
Yeah, indie creator.
And Squad is you too.
Yeah, we got Cheech and Chong, Bible Night, Masters of the Universe. Very nice. Garbage Pail Kids. Yeah, that was
Bible night or one thing?
no,
Yeah,
that
Cheech
would
and
be
Chong
great.
Bible Night.
But
I was like, what?
Cheech and Chong tell the story of Beth. Yeah,
The
but
Bible.
yeah, or Rebecca. But nevertheless, during that time, during the 80s, when we got the Garbage Pail Kids, there were actually it was quite popular to have a lot of the trading cards that were literally just
Yeah.
trading cards. They weren't games, right?
Yeah, they're just cards.
Yeah, they were just cards. Garbage Pail, of course, were a big hit. Another one was like the Mars Attacks ones. Remember those?
It's from the
Yeah.
60s.
Yeah, well, they weren't in the
No, no,
60s.
they were like what was it? It was, I think it was Mars Attacks. It was like a sci-fi one tradable cards. Pretty sure it
There
was
was a
Mars Attacks.
dinosaur attack too.
There was. That's true. But you
That
said
one
the Mars Attack
completely
was
went
in the
wrong.
60s. So what was the one in the 80s then?
Not.
They
Mars.
re-released them.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. But there were a whole bunch of stuff. Marvel came out with an amazing collectible collection in the 80s as well. They were
I've got a
really good.
box full of them.
Yeah, me too. Really, really beautiful. That was very popular at that time. Garbage Pail Kids was a weird thing. It was kind of like
That was bigger than
Pogs.
the comics. The Marvel cards are
Yeah.
really why Marvel is still around, because that was huge.
Oh, they were so gorgeous, dude.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
so beautiful.
That was like people that never even knew, what a Spider-Man was,
Yeah.
were collecting those cards.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, the art was just killer,
Like-
and they had
like-
special foil, and they had all kind of stuff. I got a whole full collection of them.
That looks tough.
Oh, my
Yeah,
was just like every single person was just like collecting his cards. It was insane.
Yeah. It was neat. But the Garbage Pail Kids was a weird phenomenon because it was disgusting,
It really was.
and the kids loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a weird
Jelly
thing,
Kelly.
dude.
Or
Yeah.
Kelly Jelly, something like that.
So I'm
Now,
kind
should
of.
everybody try to make up their own or just use existing ones?
Oh yeah, you can find them online. There's so many of them to see.
No, make
I've
up
done
your
a
own
card
Garbage
for
Pail
everyone
Kid.
here.
Yeah.
What the rules to the game?
Erratic Eric.
You could do that. You could do people here. You could
Leanna
also
Allen,
try to do something with like some
Chester
modern
the
celebrity.
Molester.
Chester Molester, of course. I've never heard that before.
Oh,
Thanks, Hustler. But you could do something with Robert De Niro. He deserves to be a Garbage Pail Kid, I'd say.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah. Robbie the Whiner.
Hang Mobster.
Mhm.
Yeah, Robbie the Whiner.
Yeah.
I always
Anyway.
remembered Ronnie Ray Gun.
Oh, I get the joke. Okay. So do you have anything to add with what you're working on, or?
Well, I'm always working on my comic books, and but tomorrow and Saturday I'll be at my first show in over a year. I'm heading up to Hannibal, Missouri for the Big River Comic Con.
Which Hannibal?
ooh.
The elephant Hannibal,
Hannibal,
or
Missouri.
the cannibal
No.
one?
The Missouri Hannibal, the home of Mark Twain.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
Which
his
I had
real
explained
name,
to my granddaughter, who Mark Twain was the other day. She goes,
What?
"Who?"
What? No.
She's never heard of Tom Sawyer, Mark Twain, Huck Finn, Becky Thatcher. None of that.
They don't. It's like you have to read that in school.
She's 12
They're
years
not
old.
reading it.
Well,
They're
yeah,
not
she should
reading
have
it.
read that by now.
Yeah. That's why I thought. I was like, what? What? I don't understand this. How do you not know this?
Here's the thing. It's called Grandpa Does It. Sit down and read.
Grandpa's got too much to do.
No. You just read a snippet.
Yeah, but the thing is, I saw the statistics that came out, and 70% of Americans, kids in school, can't read at the level they should. So I mean, it's
But
insane.
would you believe that's been going up since the 60s, though? It was worse.
No.
Yes.
No way.
Yes,
No
you
way.
go and look it up. It has steadily gone up. It's gotten better every year.
I was
I
extremely
was
literate.
shocked. Well, most of us are, but apparently a lot of the country's dumb.
I probably should blame the Appalachians.
I don't know about that.
Nope.
Yeah. Anyway, cool.
We can all read.
Department not doing their job.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, girls, how you doing?
Really well, thank you.
So how you
Yes.
doing, honey? Well, how's your day been? Tell me about your day.
Aw, thank you. Honestly, by and large, pretty good.
Yay.
Got thank you. Got more work done on it. On debugging a playtester. Got some got some input from Amy on how it's working. Got a ton of housework done. Kind of a normal day, but
Mhm.
feels like I feel like I'm just moving forward well.
Oh,
I
that's nice.
appreciate y'all asking. Let's see.
Well, they didn't ask anything. I did. Don't give them credit for my generosity.
Appreciate you asking,
My.
Chester.
Hey, you're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Well,
Let's see.
yeah.
I suppose, just always plodding away.
What did you have for
trying to
lunch?
do. Let's see. Oh yeah, pizza. Domino's.
Ooh.
Hey.
I actually
Nice.
have pizza in the refrigerator, but it's Pizza Hut.
Oh,
Really?
nice.
Yeah.
They have pizza in Japan. That's cool.
They
John's
do.
yesterday.
Although
What kind is it?
I did eat Domino's here a year or so ago. They finally came to Japan, and it was god awful. I don't know what happened to
Was
Domino's. It
it?
used to be pretty good.
Um,
And
maybe
Jason,
it's just
yeah.
there.
Well, the best chain pizza I ever had was Godfather's. But what did you say, Jason?
Oh, I just said I had Papa John's the other day, so
Lucky.
Oh, Papa John's. I've never had
so
Papa
great
John's.
food.
Eh.
Really?
No, I never tried it.
Used to be great. Now it's like meh.
I still like it. So
Well,
I've,
there you
I've
go.
had it for
I got
years.
burned out on it because the place I used to work would get it like every Friday or Saturday. And it was just like, it went from being like, oh, pizza to like, pizza again.
Ooh. Sheik asked me if it was Cabal, and it's not, but boy, is it close. Sorry, I'm back on the arcade thing. It's not Cabal.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah. No, we're all kind of hoping that'll show up.
Yeah. I just need to sit down with it, but I'm busy. Anyway, very good. Thank you very much. How about you, Amy?
Me?
Yeah. Your sister had pizza. What did you have?
Oh, I actually went out to McDonald's and had lunch with Dad, so that was nice. He was doing well,
Aw.
so got him out, and that was good. Went
McDonald's?
down, yeah, he likes McDonald's, so that's where we went. We went
Sweet.
downtown, and they had an ice cream place there, so we got some of that too.
I
It
see.
was nice.
Filet fish.
Yeah, the weather was obliging, so why not?
I feel
Yay.
like
Do you girls drive? Do you have driver's licenses?
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, I
Amen.
took Dad around, so yeah.
Nice. So where's your favorite
Awesome.
place out in the world to go to, Melissa?
You mean
Oh, out in the world. Let's see.
to go
Hmm.
eat?
To go eat?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. There's a little Mexican restaurant. I think that's my favorite place to go eat. Called
Yay.
Cervantes.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
mom and pop restaurant, right? But
And
it's
yeah, I
nice.
also like going to I have a great a guitar instructor. He's
Mhm.
trying to teach me song. He's helping me learn songwriting and things like that. And going there and chatting with him is like one of my favorite things to do. Like out in the real world is
Aw.
Cervantes and hanging out with my guitar instructor
Oh, nice.
and with Amy to listen. That's a nice day
Said
there.
music.
Yeah. It's actually a little park in town I like to go and sit, and you can get like they have like little food vans,
Oh yeah?
and just get a
Yeah.
little
Oh
snack because
nice.
lunch you don't need much. Just get a little
Oh, they
snack and
do?
just sit on a bench in the park and just watch all the people do their thing.
That does sound nice.
It is a lot of
I should
trees
just
and kids running around.
this
It's
park.
good.
Yeah, that does sound cool.
Yeah.
And they just like a parking lot, I guess, somewhere. They just set up around there and then
No,
take
no, it's
off
a
when they're done.
park, meaning a park. They
Oh,
get a
okay.
big
So it's a
old
park house.
Yeah, they got a big civic center, and there's a park all built all around, landscaping all around it, and there's a road there that has all these little food carts, food trucks, and I just go down and because I can literally walk from my I own an English school, right? So I could just walk down across the street over there and just get some food and sit down. It's nice.
It's just chill.
It is
That
chill,
sounds divine.
super chill. Yeah, chill is good. Chill is good.
Chill is good.
Yeah.
We all
Well,
need a
so
little more of that.
occasionally, sometime the ladies come with me though, and it's a bit annoying.
Does that make it less chill, or I guess
A
if you have people
gaggle
with their
of
own
women
schedule,
with me,
then
you think makes it not chill?
makes it not chill?
No.
I think we're chill.
Yeah, I've had my snacks. I go.
Yeah. Oh no, they mean well. But where I could sit for 30 minutes to an hour in peace watching the people, though, I have just conversations in my ear constantly.
They
Like,
love you and want to talk to you
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah.
about Egyptology.
No, they know better.
Oh, just to talk about pyramid again.
Actually, usually they don't talk to me at all. They talk to each other about husbands and children and stuff like that. Anyway, moving
Singing
along. Bad
Oh, yeah.
memories. Okay. Where
Aw.
was I? Oh, yes. Thank you, girls. So where am I going? Elrod, hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
What'd you have lunch?
Well, dude, that
For asking.
character looks very familiar. Who is that?
It's nobody. Well, it might be Solomon Kane if I finish it.
I was wondering that actually. I noticed you were drawing Solomon, so
Nah, it's kind of looks like this arc or
Solomon
actor
up
that
there,
always
too.
has he's kind of got long hair. He
Mm-hmm.
kind of almost is a Tom Petty-esque face. He's in a lot of westerns.
Tom Petty?
No, it's a unique guy. He's a very unique looking guy. It's not Tom Petty.
I think I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember the name for some reason.
Yeah, he's got a kind of weird face and a weird manner. Anyway,
that's a lot of people.
It is, but
Jeff Goldblum.
yeah, but his face is in my head very clearly. But no, Jeff Goldblum is just broken. I think he's got some kind of mental disease, maybe mad cow.
Yes, called Hollywood.
That's all. Yeah, bad case of Hollywood.
He's one of your jazz people.
He's super jazz. He's super snobbish. He's super high class, artiste, avant garde guy. But he does it in a way that you don't hate him, though.
Yeah, he's lovable.
He is lovable, affable. But he's definitely all those things, though, without question.
He's a Bud Crane.
Mm-hmm. But lovable. Anyway, you want to say anything to the people, or?
I don't know.
No, I guess not.
Be nice.
Did you figure out my arcade game, which I've given hardly any information and no one
Be
can
right
figure
to
out?
all and wrong no man. No, I didn't, Chester, because it's not real. It's in your head.
It probably is. Probably right. I remember playing a Rocket.
It was
Rocket.
Galaga.
It wasn't Galaga. I love Galaga too. But all of
It's a very different
those.
game.
Centipede was fun, but no, this one was a later arcade box. Yeah, it was later, late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, I don't know why you're yelling Mexican at me. All right. Thank you very much, Elrod.
Oh, sorry.
Jason, what you doing, dude?
Hello. I first of all, I had a lot of fun drawing this.
It's a good piece you had today. It's good.
Yeah, and I can't wait to finish it too, because it's looking really well. But yeah, I actually have news. I am actually writing writing a story. My own.
Ooh. Are you doing a comic or like a novel, light novel, or?
It's a novel. It's gonna be a series of novels. But it's gonna be steampunky actually. It's and it's a superhero story called the Mighty Crusader. And these are like I even have like sketches of what I might want them to look like. I even drew a map.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah, I actually use rice for that. Just dump rice on there, rearrange it a little bit, and just trace it. It actually helps really well. But yeah, so the story is the main character's a superhero. He was born with super strength, and he has fiery eyes that help him see in the dark, and he has enhanced hearing. So he's kind of like Superman. But if Superman was a hothead, and if he took
So
himself a little too
Homelander.
serious. Oh, Homelander, if he wasn't evil, if he had real godly values, and still cares in a way. So, but yeah, and the only person that really keeps him in line is his dad, who is a pastor in my story. So,
Mm-hmm.
so
Hmm.
but yeah, God's going to be clearly in the story too. In fact, that's the reason he has powers. But yeah,
Hmm.
but the story is basically he lives next to a a huge steampunk city that's basically is controlled by a evil satanic cult, and he is trying to bring them down the best he can.
Oh yeah. Well, you got to deal with those satanic cults,
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be uh, there's a lot of potential in this, and I don't really do much writing until now. So I'm learning a lot. Not only am I doing the best I can, I'm also learning so.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Sweet. No, that is good. Thank you very much. All righty. Did someone say Zevios?
No,
Let's
thank you.
see.
I've already eaten.
Bless you.
Best top-down shooters. I found a Reddit post.
Nah, Zevios might be it. So let's see. Two Banana Mike, what's going on?
Nothing right now. Same old, same old. So until I have something to share, you can find me here, and you can find me on Twitter.
Well, that's pretty straightforward. Thank you.
Pretty much. I'm sorry. It's like I said, I have things that I'm still working on, and silence is golden right now. That's all, because I sometimes talking too much about your ideas is no good.
It's true, and especially with these guys around. You can't trust these guys at all.
No. Hey, I like everybody. That's not it at all. No, it's yeah. Right now, I have nothing to really say. When I do, I do. But for right now, you can find me on Twitter, and you can find me here.
Sweet. All right. Excellent. Thank you very much.
Yay.
Let's see here. Who's nice? Who's next? I guess nice doesn't really matter, does it? Alan, what you got? You're muted, by the way, Alan.
Hola. Nothing, just battling the old folks here. Freaking dogs, old people, cats and dogs living together.
Mass
hysteria.
Mass hysteria. Yeah, just I don't know. I'm wrestling with a bunch of people right now. Freaking people dying all around me. Come on. Come on.
No.
Does the house still smell like skunk though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like spots and corners.
Oh no.
So 99%.
And
You got
the spot where I smoke, that's where it really smells like skunk, like all the time. I can't get that out.
I see.
Well, other than that, no, nothing. Just working on stuff. I've been doing covers for people, logos for people. I can't show any of it off. So
all right.
I had a piece from last week though. Remember, I was slow and go on that one. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah.
And then
That's all. And then, like I said, I was battling old people right now. I'm all rattled, all spun in a circle.
Praying for you, man.
Where did I put you? Where did I put you? This is an ABC order. There we go. Hey, there we go.
Oh yeah, no, we saw that. Yeah. Very good. All right. Well, thank you. And I think I have figured out that it is Xevious.
Oh, you found it?
That sounds
What was
right.
it after?
I think it's Xevious. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Ellen. Excellent. All righty. Let's
Hey.
see here. I did all that. I did that, and I did all that.
I
and
love those Popeyes.
did that.
Sorry, just have to say that. That
They
is
are
so
good.
good.
Rosa, would you like to say something to the people that doesn't
Thanks.
involve shooting aliens on your property?
Oh yeah,
I've
were they okay?
never there's aliens on my property. I don't have any. I have not yet. I do have coyote.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Well, explain.
Coyote. So that's it. All right. Cool. All right. Well, thank you all very much. Next week, we are doing what again?
Garbage Pail Kids.
Garbage Pail
in
Kids.
Egypt.
In Egypt.
In
Garbage Pail Kids in Egypt. That's perfect. So come on back for that. That'll be a lot of fun. Of course, we also have our Monday show, which we talk about all kind of fun entertainment stuff, and then we got, of course, our D&D game that we're running currently. Although it doesn't sound like that's going to be going much longer, so I'm going to have to switch up something else. I might end up having to run. I kind of wanted to be able to play for a while because I always have to run. But it doesn't look like that's going to work out for me, Rosa. But that's all right. Nevertheless, awesome, and be good to each other.
Absolutely. And buy Jeff's book.
And buy Jeff's book. Well, Jeff, to
Buy
go
my
take
book.
us out of here. Take us out of here.
Namaste.
Namaste. Later, everybody.
Break.